WIFTV PM.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like me said. Remy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You
attack.
gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
If you're a business professional, have you ever wanted to multitask on your way to an important meeting instead of navigating through traffic? Fellowship Fleet Limousine and Bus Company is your solution for chauffeured ground transportation. Our company provides sedans, SUVs, stretch limousines, vans, and buses for corporate travel, airport transfers, and group shuttles. If you're a corporate travel manager, individual business professional, event or meeting planner, relax. Let us take the wheel. Visit fellowshipfleet.com to book right now.
Keep calling it. Give you some love and you want all of it. I'm out here working, nigga, get a grip. I'm just trying to touch a million. You just wanna coexist. I say you clingy and you contradict. Give you my heart, you think it's counterfeit. Give you my word and you won't trust in it. What's the point of loving me if you don't know what trust is? I need the is you give now. Please don't back down on me. I know you've got the attention I need. Put your pride aside for me. Oh, 'cause I need that ease. Put your pride aside for me. That ease. While I'm not trying to get that ease, you know that I need that ease. Yeah. Put your pride aside for me, baby. You're insecure, it's driving me crazy. I'm trying to get it and you keep on saying, get all my love, it's never enough. I put up with you for too long, now I'm over it. You want affection, I need money, I'ma call it quits. That is, that is. Put your pride aside for me. That is. While I'm trying to get it, need it. That is. Put your pride aside for me. Put it aside. 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 Put your pride cannot slay, cannot write none of my songs. I cannot sing, busy trying to right his wrongs. I lost myself, looking for somebody else. I lost my wealth, hoping the last one out is dead. I'm built like Ford, I'm a rider to the death. I'm built like glass, I'm hanging on by a thread. This girl, bitter like wine in the bottom of the glass. I wonder if I should wait, see how long it lasts. Debating if this moment leaves us in the past. I spin around and around inside my head. This girl. Listen, I just tell my husband it ain't hard to dump no clip in you. I know hella niggas if I need someone to give it to. Stand here and look salty for I let you give me grains of you. My pain up for pay-per-view. Used to get it crooked, now seems I just want my paper true. Dead end jobs, I work so hard and I spend all my pay on you. Never seen you work so hard at Xing off the way I do. I save all our money, you take that and buy a zipping food. I stand here salty for I let you give me grace of you. All of my mistakes I don't regret, I've learned a thing or two. Can't invite my friends cause I don't know what you gon' try and do. Always round your friends, and I'm trusted through my brothers too. Accuse me, yeah, you tried it. Without the proof, it's dry ass. All you have, I supplied it or multiplied it. You subtract and take shit back, baby, and that's why we divided. Say I throw shit in your face, but really it's just I can't hide it. My fault for wanting loyalty, not knowing you can't buy it. Lying is hereditary, not far from the tree, it's scary. Call your sisters and your cousins, tell them that you mad you married. Mad that I always been true, mad that I'm just not like you. Mad that I can drop a thousand homies trying to hold me back from you. Because I put it in a song, G. Well, guess what, nigga, I'll stand here salty for I let you give me grains of you. My pain up for pay-per-view.
Check. Oh, please, don't you rock my boat, 'cause I don't want my boat to be rocking. Oh, please, don't you rock my boat. Oh, no, 'cause I don't want my boat to be rocking. I'm telling you just, whoa. I like it like this. So keep it what you've done for me. Oh yeah, I'm happy inside all of the time. When we're bending new corners, I feel like a sweet sex winner. When I meet you around the corner, you make me feel like a sweet steak winner. Watch out, can't you see? You must believe me. Oh, darling, darling, I'm calling, calling. Can't you see? Why won't you believe me? Oh, darling, darling, I'm calling, calling. When I meet you around the corner, oh, I said, baby, never let me be alone. 'Cause when you hold me tight, you make me feel alright. Yes, when you hold me tight, you make me feel alright. Can't you see? You must believe me. Oh, darling, darling, I'm calling, calling. Can't you see? Why won't you believe me? Oh, darling, darling, I'm calling, calling. Satisfy my soul. Satisfy my soul. Satisfy my soul. Satisfy my soul. That's all I want you to do. That's all I beg from you. Satisfy my soul.
Hey baby girl, if you're thinking this that same dude, this ain't that same dude that tried to talk to you. I'm older now and my conversation's alright. What you wanna talk about? But seeing you tonight, I compliment you on your hair, your outfit and your smile. I know you're tripping 'cause you haven't seen me in a while. But I'm older now, and I know more now. Don't you go nowhere, 'cause I'm ready, girl.
WIIFT PM.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said. Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I want y'all to get on the phones. I want y'all to wake up. Y'all reach out to our Latino comrades and homies and friends and to all of our Black and Brown Coalition family members, because we're going to have a show today. We're going to have a show today. I just want to make sure we clear where we started. If you are not watching, this is the Maze Jackson Show. Riis, they set me off this weekend. I was having a good old time. But I hope that after today's show, it is my sincere hope that the Chewy Garcia campaign and his surrogates will refrain from race baiting, from using inflammatory language for the double entendres, for the coded hidden messages. I really must say I think Mr. Garcia should be a little ashamed of his campaign for the subtle and overt racism, sexism, anti-blackness. And then Riis, did you see Colors? The movie? I am a nightmare walking, psychopath talking, king of a jungle, just a gangster, stalking, living life like a firecracker, quick as my fuse. Vendettas a debt at the colors I choose, red or blue, cause I'm bloods. It just don't matter, sucker, die for your life when my shotgun spiders. The gangs of LA will never die. Just multiply colors, 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 colors. There's a lesson in that movie today that we're going to talk about. I don't know if I can play the clip, but I must tell you that I woke up on fire because, you know, as I look at my computer and I look through my images, Riis, it be the people that you was sitting next to. I'm going to just click on over real quick so everybody can be clear. Right? I think I got on a What's in It for the Black People shirt right there. And I remember the stories of, let me see. Riis, this be the people that be writing stories about you and tweeting. And here's the thing. You know they be tweeting. So Riis, you know I'm not on Twitter, right? Okay, let me do this. Let me back up. Let me say what's up. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Rule on the ones and twos. Riis, I had a great weekend, man. I was doing super good. You know what I'm saying? We had action-packed events. Then I woke up to some BS. But before we get into that, let me say what's up to my man, DJ Riis the Rule on the ones and twos. How you feeling this morning, Riis the Ruler?
Blessed by the best. You already know the rest, man. How was your weekend, man? You had a lot of stuff going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. How was it?
Hey, man, it was action-packed. It was action-packed. Friday night.
You right back at it. It was like no breaks, just your son game.
All gas, no breaks. My son game. That one didn't go too well. That didn't go too well. So that one didn't go too well, so I'm going to let that one. Anyway, shout out to the Holy Trinity Tigers who they in the playoffs. They playoffs tonight. And man, I got to hit my man Tyrone. I forgot tonight was the playoffs. Cuz shout out to Tyrone Muhammad. He got us invited to the Skybox tonight for the Bulls and the Magic. Ty, I got to hit you up cuz I might have to move around a little bit. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I just completely slept on it. So let's say Friday night we had the game, and then I got through with the game and then got over to Cam's fundraiser. State Representative Cam Buckner. He had a fundraiser over at Obsidian. So that was a good turnout, met some good people as well as building the brand. Saturday, we had our What's in It for the Black People meeting, and then Sean White actually performed live at Obsidian. That was pretty cool. Shout out to Lisa E. Riis, it was like, he sang, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, fam, you got like songs that people know and like. And, he sang like Luther and such and such and such and such. And then it was like, everybody was kind of like, and then he played, dun, dun. Then kisses, then his songs came on and everybody's, oh damn, that's okay. It's okay though, I'm all good. Then Riis. So Saturday was action packed. We had a good old time on Saturday. Then Sunday. Well, let me back up. Sunday, I woke up and for whatever reason I went to Twitter. And I see these chumps using my name in vain again. And it's like, Riis said really, so you're not supposed to let them know when you be pissed off, but they pissed me off. Like, I ain't even lie. And we need a Twitter goon squad, like, for real. Because it's like they got this little Twitter universe of like 7 or 8 people that keep stuff going and keep retweeting it and doing all the stuff. But today we're going to talk about nigga lovers. Ben Riis, you look shocked. I'm going to read you a tweet that basically says, remember in LA when they was like, F that guy, he's with the blacks? I'm going to read a tweet to you later on that has so many layers to it. People try to use me as the catalyst. So let me back up. So I woke up to anti-black Latinos tweeting about the Maze Jackson show and trying to revive the letter from the Latinos, but realistically, they basically called one of their congressmen a nigga lover. Yep, tough words today, but we gonna have to use the language because it's like, when people, how people try to say things all sweet and slick, but realistically, what you really saying is, F that girl, she's over there with them guys. Right? So we gonna talk about, Riis, okay, so yeah, we're going to break it down today because we're going to get real with the show. And then we're going to explain to people like the Capital Facts who talked about why even go on the guy's show, because we know that white racists are going to tell a story and a narrative, and you're going to tell it the way you want to tell it for white folks, and black folks know what we mean when we talking. And we ain't against nobody, but because Riis, I really hate the fact that I even allow people to have priviness to the black conversation that exists here. Because it really ticks me off that they think they have the right to tell us what we can talk about, how we can talk about it, even as they disrespect us in the conversation. Did you know today in yesterday's transactions, somebody had the audacity to say, we were here first. Blacks don't have a birthright here. And it's like when I be trying to tell y'all what people think about you for real, it's like I'm the racist But they telling you, Riis. So I woke up to the tweets and I started responding. Twitter is actually, if you got time, it's actually fun because it'd be like uninformed. All they know how to do is say like, you're a racist POS. Like, family, I'm a racist POS because I said what you actually doing. You're racist. You're like, and they just get to fling these words around. And so we're going to have to break some of this down today because, and please, I would like to welcome Representative Aaron Ortiz to call into the Maze Jackson show. I want you to go back to the times when I was over at your coffee shop and y'all was talking about, oh, we got to have this black and brown unity and it's all real and it's right. Remember, that's the picture. It's like, don't forget what you said when you said what you said. I understand your fight for black power and black empowerment, and we've got to build together until it's time for me to be the nigga. And so, and unfortunately, to my cousin Brandon, Riis, my skateboarding cousin Brandon, who skateboards with everybody, can I tell you what he found out this weekend? He's still a nigga. Yes, today your ears are gonna burn because we're gonna take ourselves out of the code and so I want you to soundbite and I want you to clip it and I want you to put it all together and short clip and change all of it. But the reality is we're gonna break down what happened this weekend in a way that black people can understand and read, not between the lines. We just gonna read the lines. Then Riis, it was the Super Bowl. I was doing good. I made it all the way through. Oh, jeez. Then
You didn't watch all of it?
No, I watched the whole thing. I watched the Super Bowl. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. I was rooting definitely for the Eagles.
Yeah, it was a good game though.
It was really a good Super Bowl
game, but you know, it was kind of, kind of.
If you look at the picture of Patrick Mahomes in the paper today, it looked like the white guys won. Don't really look like two black quarterbacks was in there, but that's a whole nother story.
You know what? His dad verifies it for me. You know, just when I think Patrick Mahomes Jr., you know, who plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, everybody, he's a junior. Just when I be, you know, thinking on the fence, like, you know what? His dad always coming and just make him black again. They said it was Joe Burrow last week. His daddy saying, and we smoking Phillies this week. You know what I'm saying? Just when I needed, his dad always let me know, you know what? His dad black enough. So yeah, man. But it was a great game. I thought. I really wanted to. Well, I didn't. So I don't mind Patrick Mahomes winning only because I feel like he has a trajectory that can beat Tom Brady in Super Bowls. And in my lifetime, I would like to die with a black man on top, as they call him the GOAT. I would like him to be black.
So I was having this conversation with some young man who was at the game, who came to Obsidian yesterday from DeKalb. Shout out to my boy Fred Harris. Army Rangers was in the building, man. It was kind of crazy yesterday. Anyway, Riis, I don't think they have to put asterisks by the new passing leader. Like, you can't hit the quarterback now. Like, I mean, no, just think about it, Riis. Right? Like, Riis, I know, see, this is that newfangled football. Like, could you imagine if you knew that Otis Wilson was on the other side and he was coming straight through you? Like, there was no hit him at the head, no falling on the quarterback. They was trying to, let me tell you what. Patrick Mahomes in the old years of football would not have been able to play because they would have been working that high ankle sprain till it was broke. Don't touch him.
See,
Riis, that's the new.
And the difference is drugs. He went back there and took some real good drugs because I know his ankle is messed up. His ankle hurting. He went back at halftime, came out like he had a whole new ankle. So I think technology and drugs.
They just had different drugs. They had drugs for those guys too.
Now
they just right. They had some drugs.
But I mean, it's just the way. I mean, but that's your boy's fault. It's your boy Tom Brady's fault. He the one that made all the quarterback rules. Can't hit him high. And then he got Andrew low. Now you can't hit him low. So, you know, man, I might as well put little flags on him. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I'll give you that. Reese. I got to stop drinking, man. I got to stop drinking. I see too much when I drink because everything slows down for me. And I be like, you know, I told you I be playing stuff back in my head like the replay. Anyway, but all that stated, man, it was a good weekend. But guys, we really have to come up with a game plan, and I'm going to talk about a little bit this on the radio, but on the air, because the fact of the matter is, I honestly cannot believe that they had the audacity to call me a racist. Like, do you understand the point when we got to the point where Latinos are now calling black people racist and comfortable? And like, the other part I got with this thing is when people be like this racist and like, you know, POS. Like, did you really call me a piece of that's how we doing? Like, I be feeling like y'all be using these acronyms like people don't take them serious. Like, wait, so you're calling me like you think you could just say POS and it's like I don't, like it's just the letters, or do you think that I don't think that? Like, I feel like sometimes this Twitter stuff be like, you be saying stuff that could get you, like, make me want to respond for real. I don't know how to explain that to you, but it's like I try to always make sure when I'm typing, Riis, that I don't say offensive things that would make a person like take, like we could be debating, but like, yeah, you racist piece of what? Okay. Well, let me tell you, today we are going to, you might as well share the broadcast. You might as well wake your friends up, because we are going to talk about this anti-blackness that exists in the Latino community. And the fact of the matter is, realistically, I think this is what you should see in this conversation today, is what they really think about you. Riis, when I read you this tweet, like, you know how you read a tweet or you read something, then you listen to it a little while longer, you be like, hold on. Did you just call her like a ninja lover? Did you really what you said is, F that girl, she's with the blacks. We've seen this before. And the craziest part to me is that, Riis, in the event that there's a runoff, we know who's going to be actively trying to cause us harm and danger while sitting in our home, sitting in our place. So today, I'm going to just tell you, this is going to be a heater. Riis, this one might give me a letter today. But I'm looking forward to the opportunity to respond, because I am curious to know how Representative Garcia allows his surrogates, right? Because, see, here's what they want you to do. They want you to be in the fight. But these guys are reflections of what we should expect from a Garcia administration. And even while he's touting Harold Washington, his surrogates are out. Yeah, we're going to talk about it, Riis. It's going to be I'm going to just tell you, this might be a letter writing show. Riis, you might have to be quiet, right? Like, I ain't going to get to blame the letter on you, but I think it's outrageous and outlandish that, like, I feel like I feel like Chuy Garcia's camp surrogates have activated some deep-seated racial, sexual, sexist. They're unlocking some things that they try to do in code, so I'm going to uncrack the code for you today. Does that make sense? I'm going to crack the code today, because we're going to understand. What exactly do you mean? Not, we need a mayor that supports, not panders to racist you basically called her out for being with the blacks. And I think that women should be paying attention to this too. And I just think that there was a lot in it. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Riis, so we're going to talk about, because I grew up and I used to hear the term nigger lover. Right? And I used to hear it because I grew up in an area where there was diversity and there was a lot of interracial dating. And so even when people were friends, like if you was friends with too many black people, there was certain groups that would call you a nigger lover, right? Rep Ortiz did the same thing. He just did it in a nice way. We're going to talk about that today. Also, want to talk about the candidate forums. Shout out to, I did not make it to Operation Push, but we did see Andre ask the question about the undocumented immigrants, at which point Chewy went straight to defense of his people. Black people kind of waffled. Everybody was trying to figure out these wonderful things. And I was just thinking, anyway, we're going to talk about that. Riis, how does the Operation Push Coalition ask questions about the black and brown community? Like where, like, it was like, shout out to everybody working together. I do think though that there was a lot that we need to unpack in that joint too. Did y'all watch the Super Bowl ads? We tried to watch them, but when you got a crowd, it's tough to watch the ads. Although I did like the Dunkin' Donuts ad with J-Lo and Bennifer. And then that one, whatever the commercial was, where they Tubi, where everybody thought they sat on the remote. Like everybody was yelling at me at the game, like, man, what you do? You ain't see the Tubi commercial? Where it's like it looked like you sit on your remote, like you watching the game, and all of a sudden it goes black. Then they go, and I'm running around, and people like, man, you done messed. It was a commercial. Like they made it where, like, when you sit on the remote and the TV channel change and all that stuff. That was funny. Let me see what else we got. Shout out to Cheryl Lee. Was that Cheryl Lee Ralph? Was it Cheryl? Who sang the Black National Anthem at the Super Bowl? What you think about that? Did you see that? You see?
I heard it. I was working. I was just getting.
You was making chicken wings, flipping the wings. Yeah. Okay. She did a good job with the. She did a good job. Also, Rihanna popped out. She came out there like, I'm pregnant again, and still was like, I know people tripping, but I thought it was a good performance. I thought it was dope with just the levitating stages and all that. And she had the biggest psych ever, right? The biggest psych was Riis. The biggest psych was nobody came out with her. Man, I kept waiting for her to bring out Kanye, dog. I was like, if she bring out Kanye, and she did a few, I didn't realize they had so many hits. That was interesting. Let's see. Holy Trinity. Simeon beat Kenwood. Did you see that game? You was probably making chicken wings, Riis. Man, they came. Kenwood came back from 20 points down, right? But they lost in overtime. I feel like when you come back from that kind of gas, though, 20 points down, it's like when you get to the overtime, you be so happy you made it to the after overtime, you ain't got the gas to get there. So it was interesting to watch that. But shout out to Coach Robert Smith. Shout out to my boy Mike Irvin and all of the Kenwooders. That was it. Yep. And Riis, do you know who Trugoy is? Plug 1, plug 2, plug tuner. 3, that's the magic number. Trugoy the Dove from De La Soul passed that 54. You know who De La Soul is? Just me, myself, and I. Mirror, mirror on the wall. You don't know De La Soul?
Yeah, I know De La Soul.
Okay, so Trugoy died from De La Soul.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, okay. I didn't know that.
That was the heavyset one. That was light skinned sitting in the back, and they threw stuff at him.
Yeah, I definitely know De La Soul. I didn't know.
Trugoy, plug 1.
I don't know like the names of them.
Okay, man, I used to love De La Soul. Saturday, it's a Saturday. Saturday, it's a skate jam. Anyway, y'all, those are my headlines for the week. We're going to get ready to get into this conversation. So let's do this. Let's take a quick break. And then when we come back, we are going to ask the social media question of the day. And then wake up, everybody. Y'all shake people up because at 7 o'clock, we are going to talk about the concept of nigger lovers, anti-blackness, and how do we as black folks deal with this. We'll talk about it more when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Maze Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Maze said. We out of here. Peace.
We can count on Paul Vallis. When Paul Vallis was CEO of Chicago Public Schools, he revitalized our neighborhood schools. No one delivered more for our underserved young people than Paul Vallis. As mayor, Paul Vallis will ensure that communities long neglected get a fair share of city investment, attracting the grocery stores we need, improving sanitation, and other city services in our neighborhoods. Vote Paul Vallis, a mayor for all of us. Paid for by Vallis for Mayor.
Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago. The violence in Chicago must stop. Willie Wilson pledges real action to do that. A revised police structure, 4 superintendents, more accessible to their neighborhoods, providing faster communication and concentration of resources. Willie Wilson pledges more integrated police patrols to increase community, confidence, and cooperation. Willie Wilson's pledge will make Chicago safer. Finally, Chicago, do it right. Willie Wilson for mayor.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion have to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leading me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. Please.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:49 a.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather update. Last night was Super Bowl Sunday, the first time 2 black quarterbacks will battle it out in the big stage as Patrick Mahomes' Kansas City Chiefs would beat the Jalen Hurts Eagle with a field goal and win 38-35 as he captured his second Super Bowl ring as well as MVP. Let's head over to traffic now on the Kennedy. O'Hare to the Loop will be 21 minutes. Outbound will be 18 on the Edens. Inbound from Deerfield to the Exchange and back will be 28 minutes, while the Eisenhower is locked in at 30 minutes in both directions. On the Stevenson, from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 33 minutes. Outbound will be 28, while the Bishop Ford is 30 minutes. I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 26 minutes to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 17 minutes to the Loop, 12 minutes to 95th, while DuSable drives south. 55th to Jackson will be 7 minutes. Jackson to 55th will be 8, and that's 8 minutes north. That's Randolph to Bryn Mawr and Bryn Mawr to Randolph. Today's weather, it is currently 32 and clear. Today will be a high of 50 with a low of 32. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy Monday.
Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane to Golgotha, oh, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. It's me again. God's gonna turn it around. I'm calling on you. You did it before. I believe that you can do it again. Somebody calling you right now, Lord. If it ain't one thing we need, somebody else needs you for another. Please, son, look and have mercy. Have mercy over our home, Lord. Have mercy. Have mercy. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis to rule on the ones and twos. And Riis, you know how we do every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8. We say what's up to the Saints of WBGX 1570 AM. That's right, the Saints of WBGX 1570 AM. You can get us every day, 6:30 to 8 a.m. on 1570 AM, or you could do like Sister Zakia. You could do like Sister Zakia and go to the TuneIn app. Go to your App Store, your Google Play. Google Play. That don't even sound right. Google Play with your store. Play in your store. Download the TuneIn app. And that is where you can get us. You can put in 1570 AM and you can get us. Now, if you are early rising saint or a sinner, you can join us from 6 to 9 every day on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Juan Martinez, I want you to, I know you are usually on, not you, De Juan. Look, De Juan, not De Juan Coleman. Juan Martinez. Make sure you reach out to the rep since he wants to. I would love to talk to the surrogates. I want to know what kind of, since I'm racist and xenophobic, and we're going to have to talk to Hector Villagrana. Riis, he used to work for me, right? And so his real beef is when he was lazy at work, he didn't do a lot of work. He kind of sat down around, and so when I went to replace him, he got offended, and so he's still hurt. But every time he see me in Springfield, he be like, Maze, hi. You know how you be talking crazy, but then you see me with the guys, and you want to be like, hey, no. It's okay, Mr. Villagrana. Since everybody want to be like, y'all Twitter, and why you say the host? Why you don't tag me? Why you don't at me? How does it a whole universe of conversations? Riis, they done went to the show, clipped the show, put it up. They got a whole little string going on, and nobody tags me.
If it ain't directly at me, I don't respect it.
Riis, but they're so now you want to say the host because I'm about to be like Hector Villagrana. Family, you can pick up the phone. Riis, I really want to call everybody on air and be like, I seen your tweet. You want to talk about it? You got something you want to say? Hector, Representative Ortiz, Mr. Garza, whoever it is. And it's funny to me because what they're trying to do is paint Brandon Johnson as, okay, let me stop because at 8 o'clock, I want y'all to wake everybody up. So that they can get their pens and papers. I want them to timestamp this thing. We want to talk about the concept of nigger lovers from the perspective of a black man who grew up being talked to in code by various racial ethnicities and having a diverse array of friends and knowing what it's like to, like, and we're going to talk about it. So we're going to break Representative Ortiz's tweet down so you can really, you can understand what he's saying. And then a little bit later, we're going to, how many of y'all saw Colors? If you saw Colors, and I know this is gonna age me, but some of y'all saw Colors, and really you remember that part when Sean Penn came to bust up the house after the drive-by shooting, and he opened up the door, and he found old girl with the brother. What's the matter, Pac-Man? This is who I am, Pac-Man. And there's an analogy there. I'm not suggesting that because I want to make sure that we're clear that Brandon Johnson is a married black man. And I do not want to denigrate the Congresswoman. What I want us to understand is what Aaron Ortiz was trying to conjure up in the minds of Latino men and women. Riis, you know how people don't say it, but you think it. Like, you know how rabbits, people think crime, right? There is this thing about black men with other race women that does not make other racial men very happy, right? And what Rep. Ortiz did was play on that in a very subtle manner, but I'm going to show it to you in real life what it looks like. But in the meantime, I want to have a conversation. Let me see if I can. Riis, play the birthday song. Let's say happy. You ready?
Yeah.
Because it is that time of the day where we say happy birthday to everybody who tunes into hold on. Everybody whose birthday it is today, I want to say happy birthday to you. Let me see who we got. Happy birthday to Brian Bernardoni, Tommy Choi, Pastor Ira Acri on the west side, Lisa Bonet, Harold Green III, Michael Hines, Rita Brooks, Latrice MacArthur, X-Man Xavier Nogoris, David D, Ted Gibbs, Carla Ross, Kimberly Jean Brown, Representative Marcus Evans, State Representative, Valerie Gamachi. Happy birthday to all y'all today. The Maze Jackson Show is wishing you a very, very happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your day. Have a great time. Enjoy your family. And have a good old time. We at the Maze Jackson Show, I can't say we love all y'all, but we can say that we wish you a happy, happy, happy birthday. Riis, I have been sounding the alarm, and if you can, switch over to the computer. I have been sounding the alarm for a very long time. Remember, you know the analogy about the frogs. Throwing a frog in a pot of boiling water, he'll jump out. But if you set the frog in the water and you let it cook for a while, and the heat eventually raises, he'll sit in the pot and he'll boil and he'll die. I also say that we learn, history repeats itself, right? And if you look at what happened in Los Angeles, there was a time, I want to go back to that movie Colors. There was a time in the time when Los Angeles was one of the top black cities in the country, right? It was New York, LA, Chicago, then Houston. LA honestly has lost a significant amount of its population, so much so that places that the blacks have now kind of conceded. There's a black mayor in Karen Bass, but the reality is the Latino community has dominated the community. Now, can we all honestly agree that, like, take all the racism out of it? Politics is a competition for resources for whatever constituency that you represent. Sometimes you are pitted against each other because there's a finite amount of money. Sometimes you split the pot. But the reality is, for Springfield to work, for governments to work, you have representatives that are elected to represent your interests, right? You're a representative. If you are a black state representative and you have a predominantly black ward, your job is to represent the interests of the predominantly black ward or township or whatever. Just like if you're a Latino, your job is to primarily represent the interests of Latinos. If, as in the case of Representative Aaron Ortiz, you represent the largest immigrant district in the state of Illinois, then 100% I expect that you're going to advocate and fight for immigrant rights, migrants, etc. I have absolutely no problem with that because those are the people that you represent. I do not begrudge anyone the opportunity, regardless of whether you're LGBT, whatever constituency. It's just like right now, the Asian community is fighting for an Asian high school. Yes? That's not racist. That is that their representatives are fighting to create space for their constituency. That is what we are supposed to do. The challenge becomes when we try to turn those conversations into anti-ness. When we inflame those conversations to, instead of making them political, we make them ideological, where we say, I am an advocate for black self-interest. I am not against Latinos. I am not against LGBTQ community. But my job is not to walk in the room and say, how do I split the little piece of pie that we have with everybody else? My job is to protect the pie that we have. Just like Representative Ortiz's job is to protect the pie that he has. Yes? Is that fair? Is that a reasonable? When we had the fight for the city council, right? The Latinos were trying to take additional wards, right? Those wards were going to come from black people. That was not racist. That was what it was. When you went into the room and you said we should have more because we have more representation, we have more people, the Latinos, nobody begrudged you that fight. However, we as black people also recognize that we have a fight and we were fighting for ours, right? It's just what it is. But when we discuss it, they got to say and do everything behind closed doors, disrespect black people, disrespect the whole chain of command. And I want y'all to see this same pattern. It's all good. We all colleagues as long as we get what we want. But if we can't take yours, then we have a problem. And essentially, they weren't trying to take white wards. But Riis, in this era, everybody is shocked or fearful of saying any of it because then you will be deemed anti-something. It's the cancel culture that ultimately works against black people protecting their own self-interest. It is we should give up whatever we have because in the spirit of, while at the same time, you are looking to take from us. The white people probably feel the same way, okay? Now, Riis, this is a thing that we cannot talk about, right? Because remember when I talked about it, they went and then we had GARCIA's whole camp writing letters and saying how Mays was anti this, that, and he is fighting the anti. And then, Riis, turn up the volume. This tape comes out. Ready?
All the, folks like with us going, he did call me. He wants to have breakfast with me.
What's taking him so long?
I haven't. I just said, hey, we need to talk.
You supported him from the.
All right, don't worry, I got you. So you'll start seeing them line up. Isaac was the first. All the, folks like with us going, he did call me. He wants to have breakfast with me.
What's taking him so long?
I haven't. I just said, hey, we need to talk.
You supported him from the.
All right, don't worry, I got you. So you'll start seeing them line up. Isaac was the first. All the, folks like with us going, he did call me. He wants to have breakfast with me.
What's taking him so long?
I haven't. I just said, hey, we need to talk.
You supported him from the.
All right, don't worry, I got you. So you'll start seeing them line up. Isaac was the first. All the
So
folks.
I wanted y'all to hear.
He did call me. He wants to have breakfast with me.
That is F that guy. He's with the blacks. It was the black city council. Excuse me, the black president, the Latino president of the city council in Los Angeles, caught behind the scenes talking about black folks with other Latinos, even as we believe that they are allies. Okay? F that guy, he's with the blacks. Now I'm going to take that to another level a little bit shortly because Representative Ortiz's tweet actually goes into sexism, into interracial dating, into all of the concepts that go with it. But I want to open up today. Riis, hit the button because I'm ready to ask the question.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
Are black people in Illinois prepared for an active anti-black government? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. I want to know, turn that down, it's loud. Are we prepared for an anti-black government? See, Riis, there's certain things that we're not, and open up the phone lines open. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. See, the challenge that I have here is that we say black and brown all the time. We have evidence time and time again where we see that given the opportunity, the people that we consider allies, Riis, are not truly our allies. And I want to know, are we prepared for an anti-black government? Or am I making this up? Right? We saw behind the scenes. Do we think that when people get behind the scenes that they say, how can we make sure that it's equal with us and the blacks? I need for y'all to understand that the water is boiling, right? We have allowed this conversation. Please bookmark this. Black people in Illinois have allowed our self-interest to be compromised. We have allowed our ability to advocate for ourselves to be degraded because of our desire to be inclusive, to our own detriment. And the crazy part is that there really is no safe space for black people to talk or discuss real issues. You know, Capital Facts jumped into it, right? And they jumped into a tweet, into the thing like, why even appear on the guy's show, right? They basically said, like, you know, after Representative Ortiz wrote his racist, sexist, and anti-interracial text, Capital Facts, white media outlet, rides in on the tweet and says, well, why even go on the Maze Jackson show? Now, I want y'all to understand that there's a reason for that. The reason for that is because, quite frankly, the Maze... Can I ask you a question? Can you tell me a place in the social media sphere, in the political sphere, where black people can talk or share their interests without someone else telling them who, what, and how to feel? Like, on What's in It for the Black People media, white news outlets have the audacity to tell black people, and now, Riis, I want to let you know everybody is welcome to come on the show, but imagine The audacity of a white media news outlet who is racist in and of itself as well. A bunch of white guys who sit back under an anonymity and tweet and comment and share things about black folks without really talking to black folks. They get to talk about black people. Where do black people have the right to go and talk about the issues that impact them? And I'm going to get to this a little bit later too, because there is a concerted effort. Like, I'm leaving the show on my own terms. But the reality is, you can't go anywhere right now and talk black specific. You can't. You cannot. And the audacity of a white outlet that really panders to white people being snarky and being able to hide their hand and throw rocks, saying, why would a black man come to a black media station to talk to black Chicago? It really strikes of the white male patriarchy. It makes me really say to myself, like, Riis, you look at all of these news outlets, all of these holier than thou white guys that have deemed themselves as the media, as the arbiters of our fate and our direction. Who black gets to talk about black issues that black people want to talk about? And who in the hell allows white folks, Latinos, Asians to tell black people how they can talk about their own pain, trauma, and suffering? Who allows who? So I gotta be able, because it makes white people, it makes Latinos uncomfortable to talk about the things that are actually happening. Riis, we're last in all 16 economic indicators. Anytime there is something, they break it down by black, white, Latino, Asian. But when we talk about it as from the bottom of the ladder, it's shut up. He's a racist. He's xenophobic. He's this, he's that. Now let me just think. I just want y'all to think about who in Chicago right now has the ability to speak on issues that we actually care about. Who black in Chicago can actually say black without saying black and brown? No disrespect to the brown people, but man, there is who black can say it, Riis? Name a time that you have, besides Willie Wilson, name a time that you have seen anybody black talk black without making sure that they put black and brown in it. And at the same time, the brown people are saying, you can't talk to your own people. I'm disappointed in Brandon Johnson, for a black man, for coming on What's in It for the Black People media to ask about, it's racist and xenophobic to ask about undocumented immigrants and the right to vote. Even as you just tried to take the map from us. Now, if I say you tried to take it from us, then I'm the racist xenophobic. So if there wasn't, then why was there a fight over the number of wards? Why didn't it just stay the same? No, I'm saying, like, help me understand, what was the debate for if it ain't a competition for resources, if we can't talk about ourselves specifically, then why can't they just be black and brown wards that they was? I'm curious. And I challenge us to think about in our space, just like I used to have to fight to get white folks to say black. Tell me who black in Chicago can say black without saying black and brown. And again, not to diss the Latinos, but the crazy part is I have to couch that every single time to not be called a racist. Think about the gravity that a black man in Chicago can be actually, somebody can call you a racist with a straight face, and white people and Latinos jump on it and be retweeting the black man is a racist xenophobe. Huh? All while you're advocating for your own people. Show me the black and brown tweets that are not the black people. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Who black? Are you ready for an anti-black government? And who has the right? What black person has the right to speak on black issues? Where? Who? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Is anybody on the line, Riis? Call you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Good morning, Maze Jackson.
Byron, what's up, man? How you feeling?
Oh, my God. If only you had just stayed on your neutral stance, I could have missed this call today. You could have missed this call today, but you talked about how they're coming for you. And that's what, look, you said, even though you couch it every time black is, I'm pro-black, I don't mean I'm against it. You said it every damn time, and it drives me my ass crazy. Okay? Because I know what kind of person you are. I didn't know what kind of person you are. You got to kiss their ass all the time. This is not just them. This is other people, too. This woke agenda. That's how they got Trump. I know you don't want to hear this, but that's how they do Trump. Everything he does is racist. They do it to me, too, man. My brothers and sisters. You this. They call me a white racist for some of my views. But, man, let me get back to the Super Bowl real quick. 15 seconds. Mahomes, I call him a half Negro, okay? And then the other guy is the full Negro. Have you ever seen a half Negro have a black sister on his side marry a sister? Think about it. All the half Negroes never have a black sister on their side. They're always marrying some white chick, okay? I didn't use the other term I normally use. But sometimes I can't trust those suckers. Half Negroes, like Obama. They just think differently. They do differently. How come Mahomes couldn't get a sister? All these half Negroes, they always seem to have white women on their side. But that's another thing. But I'm glad he won because I had a big bet on Mahomes to win the Super Bowl about 6 weeks ago. So I took the odds. Those some great odds. I'm feeling good, but I was pulling for Philly. But such is life. That's life. But anyway, Maze, if you are a chief of a country and they told you that the barbarians are coming for you to kill you all and to burn your city down, but there's this people on the next door neighbors who said, "Hey, if you give us that 5% of that land that we've been squabbling over, we'll help you. We'll help you with the barbarians and send them off." Would you take that offer, or would you let the barbarians come and take you out?
See, now there you go, Byron. Then they're going to be calling me racist again for calling people barbarians. All I just try to do is say, hey, guys, the water's getting hotter. It's getting hotter in here. It's getting hotter. But, you know, you can't say nothing these days.
All I'm saying is, there's some people who are trying to take us out, and there's some people that are not trying to take us out, but they're trying to get some stuff. I'm saying it's best to not have the people take us out, but work with other people to fend them off. That's all I'm saying. We got to make deals with people that we might not like, but it might be in our best interest. That's all I'm trying to say. Because you see what happened in Los Angeles and all those other countries. Maxine Waters Ward. She played that game until she is a useful idiot for them now. She's for immigration. She's for all those people coming in. She don't fight for our views anymore, except for when it's equity, inclusion, and all this other nonsense that they're talking about. No matter what you do, May, we have to ignore these people. When the people talk about there's 9 genders, we have to say, hell no, there's not. There's only men and women. We got to stand up and fight off these idiots. We try to couch and try to fit in. Forget fitting in. Stand up. Have you heard any one of those mayoral contenders talking about how we can lift the percentage of black kids to read at a higher grade level and to do math at a higher grade level? They have no plan for that. 10% and 22% for reading. They have no plan to teach our kids how to better read and how to better write. No, not one of those candidates are talking about that. And it's stupid. But May, you gotta stay calm with these people. I kind of like you that you not go there against them. I mean, you pointed it out, but don't get too excited about them because they're not gonna like us anyway. They don't like us, And black folks don't realize I try to tell those idiots a long time ago, but this damn coalition, they don't like us. They talk about us. My brother speaks Spanish. He's in Miami. That's all he does. He don't speak English until I come there. He tells us what they actually think of us. And these black folks sit up here talking about they think they're on the other side until they eat your damn lunch and get your ass out of this city. But I didn't want to go there this morning, but hey, I had to, man. I feel your pain, but you gotta play like you normally play everything else, strategically and not get too beside it, because that's the reality of it. The reality is they don't like us. They want to replace us, and they don't. I remember a long time ago, this Hispanic guy told me this is their country. We can take this country back. And that was a long time, like 20 years ago.
I got a guy that said that to us yesterday.
They're not gonna tell you that until.
Man, Byron, let me say this. You know, I got the warning up because I got the count. Again, every day I say I'm not against anyone. I just want to make sure we get our piece. Byron, you understand what I'm going through right now. But it's the crazy part is they've got us in a point where we can't even talk about it, because if you talk about it, you fearful of being deemed anti-immigrant, anti-anything. You got the best on the line? Call you on the Maze Jackson Show. Thanks, Byron, for your call. Appreciate you, brother. Call you on the Maze Jackson Show. Representative Ortiz, please feel free to call in and explain to you what you meant by, what you meant. And then I'm going to play y'all a video because, again, boy, it was all good yesterday. But I want y'all to understand that in this game of politics, it's like why we have trust issues. Call you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Shalom. I'm like Byron, man. I be trying not to call in, but you be touching some subjects that you get.
What up, King? It was good seeing you last night. You wasn't watching Power last night, though.
Man, I tried to find it, man, but y'all blew it. Look, man, these people Negro peons, man. I don't like talking about my people. They've been brainwashed, though. After 400 years, I'm convinced that, they just... Only 144,000 gonna make it anyway, man. So don't do what you gotta do. I think you did a good job in this time space. What's the countdown? How many more days you got? Because I want to provoke some more letters. Is it okay with you?
I'm gonna start the countdown right after the first wave of elections. You got something for us, King? Or you was just calling?
No. You want to know something about Jesus as a devil worshiper? We living in some wicked times, and I mean, my uncle used to always say, my mother hates it when he said that. He said you should kill all the babies. I didn't know what he meant to now. All day babies, but
Ooh, see, that's why I got my warning up. That's the King, Israel, right there. I appreciate your call. Salim says if we are clear in our context, we can push our issues without charges of xenophobia. See, Salim, that's why I think you're wrong. And I find I don't say that very often, but Salim, if you want to hear our conversation in context, what I would argue is even when you look at the clip that they did, they cut the clip and they take pieces and parts and they allow you, if you listen to a whole show and you don't just take the clips that people you would probably understand why. It's the same reason that most of the Latinos that join our show don't really they recognize I'm not a problem to them. But I hear you saying Salim is never wrong, but I think that Salim is operating from an altruistic position, right? He is operating from the standpoint that Chewy is still his ally, right? He is operating from the paradigm of, again, Harold Washington. Right? When we were progressive and we were together. Salim, what you probably don't recognize is that Chewy's team has pivoted to being the conservative candidate, and they are now resorting to tribalism because Brandon Johnson is now coming up. And I'm going to talk about that because I think there's a whole component of it. And I think it's just like the last time when they are desperate or when their other stuff isn't working, then they resort to what can we do? And then we go to the Maze Jackson Show and we try to clip and then we put it out and we put stuff somewhere and then we turn it into, you listen to this show. Would you suggest that you're a xenophobic person, Salim? Or would you suggest that you understand what I'm talking about and you get it, right? It's the same reason why freaking Capital Facts when they say, why would you go on the show, is because Capital Facts is going to take everything that you say and twist it and misinterpret it so that you're going to be able to turn it into a xenophobic place. So a black person can't come on the radio and say what they feel without being labeled as an anti-someone. So I would argue with you that you are really right now operating in Wakanda, in that you believe that there is this long-standing love that they clearly do not have for us. And it is not, the show is not xenophobic. The show is not anti-anyone. The show is a place where black people can come safely and speak to each other without somebody trying to take it and run and trying to make it a gotcha, aha moment. Again, there's no place in Chicago that black people, any black person that is elected, can come and talk to black people without saying brown. Not that I'm against brown people, but you think about, there's no, name a black elected official publicly, in a public that's running publicly, that comes out in the place and speaks specifically to black issues and can confidently say that without being labeled racist, without fear of being labeled a racist or a xenophobic person. I would challenge you to give me that person, right? Even at the Operation Push, read the paper. If you look at what happened at Operation Push, the premise is, and what Chewy is doing is at the same time using Harold Washington, invoking Harold Washington while employing daily tactics. Does that make sense? He is using Harold Washington's memory while employing the tactics of daily to try and win. And so we're going to talk about that some more when we come back. But I want to know, are we prepared for an anti-black government? Because I think what you see here, right? What you see here with what Representative Ortiz did was they are activating, this is the before it's too late, right? You talking about Vallis, and I think that for Brandon Johnson and for SEIU and for Stacey Davis Gates and for all of those people, they was all good with you when you was chilling. But now all of that alliance, all of that democratic socialist, all of that, that's out the window. It's about the tribes now. And to me, essentially, they are reiterating what we said. All right, y'all, let's talk about let's talk about it when we come back. We're going to take a quick break. Then, Riis, you come back with our top of the hour. I know we missed it. You know what? Before I go to break, though, because let me do this, Riis, because I have it, and I don't know if you... Gosh darn it.
Are you going to play something on your computer?
I was going to try to. Did you get the commercial?
Yeah, but I was just going to tell you, I need access to it, and then the one that you sent to my phone, that's like static.
Okay, let me see what they... Hold up, Riis.
Hold on, let's plug the call back in. Are you good?
Let me see if I can find it. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, I'll play it before we start. But it is the Mace Jackson Show. Oh, when we come back, I'm going to break down. I'm going to read some of the tweets, and then we're going to break them down, and we're going to analyze them, and then we'll find out what they actually meant when they said it. Oh, by the way, Riis, can I show you another video though? Let me show you this, because these be the videos. I keep the stuff, but I wanted to play this video for you because this was when What's in It for the Black People first started, and the Latino community invited me over to the 47th Street Cafe, and it's odd to me because it's funny. Representative Aaron Ortiz was in it, and I was probably way more What's in It for the Black People, probably way more militant back then. But let me just see if I can play this audio. It cost $1 million. Look, you had a budget of how much to do this?
So we were expecting to spend about $150.
Okay.
But through the support of the community, we've got some good deals. We were able to spend $80,000 to get it over.
$80,000, y'all. $80,000. That's before I got my teeth fixed. Is it profitable?
Oh yeah, we're growing, we're expanding. We're trying to go to other neighborhoods similar to Back of the Yards, but partner up with those communities to do the same thing we do here in Back of the Yards, to do those in those communities.
So it was supposed to be a partnership. I just want y'all to understand, We want to partner with those communities. This is 2018. You know how Jay said, it was all good just a week ago?
Hey, y'all, check it out. I don't know. I'm still feeling a little suspect. Yvonne, I'm going to need your help, but I'm going to tell you. I came here and I was motivated and inspired today because I'm saying, man, y'all, this is 47th Street. Check this out. Think about this. This is what I want y'all to see. You see that right there? That's a 47th Street. There is a Food for Less right across the street. And in the middle, man, they just built an oasis where the whole, man, I'm telling you, I've been sitting here, the traffic has been crazy. People keep stopping in. I'm just telling y'all, it's people stopping in. And I'm saying, is this a model that we can learn from? Is there collaboration? I don't know. But it's something, I think I learned something today.
So I just want y'all to be clear that I went there because I didn't believe that there could be collaboration. You see I have a What's in It for the Black People shirt on currently. But what was interesting was this same group, as I was talking about it, was trying to say this is why we should link up so we could do the same thing. And here we are 3 years later. Hold on.
47th and what? 47th and Hoyne, 2 blocks west of Bay.
47th and Hoyne, 2 blocks west. Yes. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Now, look, check this out. Now, let me tell you what else just happened, y'all. This is also the hub of community empowerment. Now, this is Aaron Ortiz.
We watched your Dan Burke interview, too.
So, check this out. This is the, hey, man, Dan Burke went all the way back to my dad when this was his district. But let me just say this, y'all. Black folks, here's another example of where we can learn. This is the new state representative, and they didn't ask nobody. They took that joint. Check it out. Let me just introduce you, probably for the first time, to the black community. Ladies and gentlemen, State Rep-elect Aaron Ortiz. What's up, man?
Good morning, everyone. We're out here from back of the Riis coffee shop, what I like to call my third home. Because my second home is located right across the street, back of the Riis College Prep High School. So, again, my name's Aaron Ortiz. I've recently been elected as the Democratic nominee for the Illinois House of Representatives, District 1.
Man, what do you, man, tell me the role of this. First of all, what makes a brother? You look, what you about 25?
I'm 27.
How you get started so early, man? And tell me, this Chicago, man, how you beat the machine?
I beat the machine with the support of the community members that helped me grow up, helped me, people who have been in this community for quite some time. I mean, one of the first people that I can mention is the owners of this coffee shop, Jesse nygga. Is someone who is an activist in the community, and I constantly saw him advocating for his community.
You hear that?
Come on over here. I mean, this guy's constantly always advocating for his community.
From the coffee shop?
Yeah.
We can't though.
Look, they building political empowerment from the coffee shop.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just seeing individuals like himself from the neighborhood, rooted, who understand what are the true issues impacting our community. That made me really motivate myself, and seeing a bunch of other individuals from the community advocating for the needs of back of the yards made me understand.
Advocating for the needs of back of the yards made me understand.
That we have the same thing, we need the same thing a little bit further southwest, in Gage Park, Archer Heights, Brighton Park. These communities are, that were predominantly white immigrant communities, European communities that are now Latino immigrant communities, and I know have been underserved and underrepresented, and that's why it's time to bring some change to the southwest side.
Now let me ask you a question, man, because I'm a skeptic, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm a skeptic of the black-brown coalition.
See?
It seems
I don't
like
change.
we always are at odds. But this millennial generation, which you seem to be a part of, has a different vision. How do you see black folks and brown folks working together to try and make something? Because I hear about it symbolically, but I don't see it in reality. You don't know about them HDO guys, man? They cut us out real bad.
And I agree. Honestly, this is one thing that I've constantly seen growing up is, brown and black division amongst a lot of the issues that are impacting our communities. And I think it's time that more elected officials, brown and black elected officials, really start uniting on some issues, because that will make us much more powerful when we're united and we're when we're asking for more for our communities at that decision table. So it's required. There's no way we're going to progress forward if we're not uniting on issues.
So let me ask you a question, and then I'm going to let y'all go, because y'all got a party cracking on a Saturday morning. Hopefully I'll see y'all at the Taste of WBON today. Y'all come out today, you be my guest. I'll make sure you straight. I'll make sure you straight. All right, so check. You know, black folks seem to always support the issues of everybody else. Right now, we're in the immigration fight and everything. Can you ever envision a time when the Latino community will support the issues that are important to black people? And could you see yourself supporting issues that impact black people?
Absolutely. I mean, right now we're definitely seeing a distrust between the black community and police officers. I mean, this is an issue that I think is very important to the Southwest side and also to Latinos. So I think it's very important that brown and black communities unite at this moment.
Notice he put brown first too.
Our black brothers and sisters are being impacted by, unfair and unjust police brutality. Because we really need a lot more just community policing in our communities to build that trust, because that's what it's really about. A lot of these communities not having trust in police officers, and it's very unfortunate. But I think it's time that we start working together to bring better resources to the community.
Hey man, check this out. This is your man Maze Jackson. I'm live. Check it out. Y'all know I'm nervous, right? You really got me in back of the yards. But we on 47th Street, and I'm always comfortable on 47th Street, no matter what side it is. And it seems like on this side of 47th Street, that side of 47th Street, there's issues. But some of them are common denominators that we need to check out and work on our own. Now, I'm going to ask you. Look at that. Now, there goes the real star back there. Let me say this. Look, man. I'm suspect of this black-brown thing, but I'm willing to work on it if we can make sure that the support is mutual, that it goes both ways. Look, man, I'm excited to see young people like yourself, and hopefully to our young black folks. You see this? This started at a coffee shop. They out here at a coffee shop plotting, taking over the world, and they already started. Check this out. This dude beat damn. Do y'all understand? Okay, let me stop. Check it out. This your man, Maze Jackson. I got to go get my fresh outfit. But do y'all know they got a villa? It's the Maze Jackson Show. It's Riis. You that's a long way from some of these tweets that he was sending out. You know how people be forgetting? And you just never forget? Didn't I tell you I didn't trust the black? What did I say back then? I said it. Right? It's the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after these messages.
Back after this break.
Hey, Chicagoland, all roads lead to Solo Beauty Supply, the largest black-owned beauty supply in Chicago. We carry a large selection of natural hair care products, plus much more. So come see us at one of our two locations, located at 9011 South Ashland or 8158 South Cottage Grove. Our inventory is growing, and with your support, Solo Beauty will continue to be a source of pride in our community.
My name is Chris Levy, and I'm working hard to become your next 5th Ward Alderman. As a lifelong Chicagoan, I chose the historic 5th Ward as my home and a place to raise my family. This means I have a vested interest in our safety and prosperity. But we need a change, and I'm the best candidate for the job. I'm not a career politician, but a motivated citizen who cares and will do whatever it takes to restore our community to greatness. My name is Chris Levy, and I want to drive change. Please punch 60 and vote for me for 5th Ward Alderman. My name is Chris Levy, and I approve this message.
With a long-time 34th Ward turning into the 21st Ward, there's only one clear choice for your next alderman of the 21st Ward, Cornel Dantzler. If you live in the 34th Ward, which is now the 21st Ward, vote for Cornel Dantzler in the upcoming election to represent your ward as alderman.
We will work together as a family and as a team so that we can make the 21st Ward one of the best wards in the city of Chicago. Thank you.
Punch 51 for Cornel Dantzler. With a long-time
Micah Scott. Yeah. As we take this journey through life, we face trials and tribulations. But just know, the enemy is not gonna win. Cause the storm is almost over. That's right. The storm is almost over.
Don't you give up, give up. You come too far to turn back now. Hold your head up. It's almost over. So set up to take you to your destiny. It's gonna be alright. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, this is your season. Just keep on believing. Blessings you'll be receiving. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It will be alright. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything's gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. Storm is almost, keep on moving. Don't let nobody stop you, no. You're getting closer. Almost over. You're a soldier. Now fight your way to victory. It's gonna be alright. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, this is your season. Just keep on believing. Blessings you'll be receiving. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It will be alright. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything's gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. Dark clouds may rise, strong winds may blow. It's hard to see through the rain. You gotta hold on. Be strong. Don't let go. Almost over. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything's gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. Storm is almost over. Just hold on. Be strong. Don't give up. Just hold on. Be strong.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't toast no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect you oppressed and solve wrong.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler. And Riis, I done blown all my timelines, all my scripts. Did we get Willie Wilson's commercial in? Did we get Paul Val's commercial in? Did we get Cornell Dancer's commercial in? Shout out to all the people that are advertising with the Maze Jackson Show. Now, I want y'all to understand that there's a lot of stuff going on, and I was going to talk about black. Like, the reality is, Riis, they don't want what's in it. The Capital Facts doesn't want what's in it for the black people media because they pride themselves on being the source of political insight, etc. The challenge is that, again, it is not a true representation of black folks, and it's a place where if you say something to them, they're going to take it and they're going to spin it and they're going to flip it and they're going to niggerize you. Like, Capital Facts niggerizes niggas. It does. And it's the place for white lobbyists and white people to hide their hand and talk crazy about people and call them stupid and call them all kinds of names. But the reality is nobody in our community cares about Capital Facts. Nobody black, really. Do you know what Capital Facts is? The only reason y'all know about Capital Facts is because of us, but it's an insider publication that focuses on pandering to insiders. Not a bad thing. I read it all the time. But how dare they ask us, how dare they question black candidates coming to answer black specific questions? How dare they? But you know why they want to do that, Riis? Because they don't want to. There's a lot of people that have an interest in not having us ask the questions because then they have to provide an answer. Now, I want to read a couple things to you. I want to read some of the tweets. And this is the tweet that really got me, right? So this tweet, this is what set me off. And Riis, the song Still OJ is really Jay-Z talking about no matter what you do, no matter how special you think you are, no matter how tight you are with white folks or others, you are still OJ means still a nigga. Correct? Is that what we should understand? So we're going to label this session Still OJ. Now, I want to point out that, remember, Brandon Johnson and Chuy Garcia come from the same camp, right? There was the Progressive Democratic Socialists of America, etc., and they were both. And if you recall, Chuy Garcia waited and waited and waited, and so the coalition decided to move forward with Brandon Johnson as the candidate, right? Now, I want y'all to be clear that they were all one family. And the family comes to you and says, Chuy, you are the guy. We will give it to you, but you need to make a decision. And Chuy says, nah, I'ma wait. Nah, I'ma wait. Nah, I'ma wait. So now, as it's time to get ready to go, and the black people ascend to the power, they make the decision, the black people being Greg Kelly, Stacey Davis Gates, and old girl from United Working Families. They decide to put their eggs in the basket behind Brandon Johnson, the black dude. Now, after the black dude gets in the race, then Chuy Garcia says, nah, F that. F all that coalition. I'm the boss of the coalition. Although we were all partners before, I've decided that I'm going to get in the race. CTU, SEIU, all of them say, fam, you really going to get in the race after we waited and we waited and we waited and we asked you and we asked you and you said no. But guess what, Riis? It's 3 black people at the top. So guess what that means? It ain't no laws that there ain't no rules to the game that black people make that I'm bound to respect. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to talk to the daily white guys who going to say, F those guys over there. You don't have to be a progressive. Your chance to win is now to be with us. So Chuy goes and teams up with the white guys, all of those, remember all those people that was endorsing? Because they all thought that Chuy was the power behind all of these people, okay? So now, Riis, we all in the same mob. Chief say you could have a spot. Let's say the board members say, we'll make you the man. But you got to tell us you got a deadline. Fam, the deadline is coming up. All right, you don't want to take it, we're going to get a crown to somebody else. Then you decide you went and talked to another mob, and they said, look, man, you can take the crown of all of this. We'll let you be the king of us and them. Don't worry about them. And so then they confidently enter the race and say, forget the mob that we built the last 20 years, the coalition that we've been selling, because they've been selling us this black and brown coalition thing, etc. The Latinos, now not being in the power decision-making seat, then decide that they're going to violate the coalition, the quote-unquote black coalition, black and brown coalition. Because can we be clear that the truest example of the black and brown coalition was this Chewy SEIU Chicago Teachers Union thing where they were quote unquote, I can't tell you how many times I was sitting around and black people from all of these unions was telling me, right, like Chewy is, he part of the family. You don't understand. Aaron Ortiz, we go way back. We got, right? And I kept saying, y'all do understand that y'all are the black people. They're not gonna stick with you, right? Chewy gets in the race, and now Brandon Johnson is catching steam. And so Chewy is starting to look lackluster. And so now, as at first it was all good, we gonna be family, we gonna be friends, we'll just battle it out and we'll meet at the end. Well, now Chewy's sliding and Brandon's going up, and they assumed that they were gonna be able to whoop Brandon. So now, Riis, Brandon, who was they fam, they socialists together, right? They go to the meetings, they all CTU Army together. Now, Brandon has now become a Mayete, right? Brandon is now a Mayete that is blocking them, and they want Brandon to step down to defer to their king, Chewy Garcia, right? But Chewy is flipped. Chewy's no longer in playing for the mayor's race. He done joined another mob and said, we'll take that mob after, we'll win this, and then I can go back and take that mob. Meanwhile, Brandon, and I want to be clear, because what they tried to do was slam Brandon with Mays by tainting him. Like people say, if you can taint candidates with Mays. So now what they do is they put up this post where they clip me asking Brandon about the right of undocumented to vote. And he says that citizenship, something to the effect of citizenship, etc. At which point the Latino mafia jumps on and then starts to say, how dare he jump on, how dare Brandon Johnson come on the Mays Jackson show and espouse anti-immigrant. He ain't saying. That man, every time he open up his mouth and we talk about immigration, what's the first thing you say? That's why I was honored to have Delia Ramirez to stand with me when I launched, right? And she was born at the Cook County Hospital. How many times have we heard that, right? Think about the courageousness of him coming into this space and saying, I ain't backing up off my commitment to all of us, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? But that's not enough. So then comes the tweet, because the reality is what they're looking at is they thought that their guy was going to be able to run over Brandon. And now Brandon seems to present the most chance for their ideology to win. Can we agree that they were all in the same ideology? But here's what I try to help everybody understand. When even within the same ideology, when it all breaks down, you still a nigga. So, Brandon is coming to black places saying, and Delia Ramirez, and we all arguing about the immigrants and blah, 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 and he don't back off of it, and he's starting to rise, and Chewy is not. Riis, what do? They then the Democratic Socialists that was all on the same team, that was all fighting for our rights, are now acting like the white boys. Riis, I wake up to a tweet. Hold on, let me get it. And again, I would encourage Representative Aaron Ortiz to feel free to call in. I wake up to a tweet, Riis, that starts with, so let me back up. Capital Fact starts with, no. Here we go. Dang. Okay. Representative Aaron Ortiz from Illinois. As a representative of one of the most immigrant districts in Illinois, I'm extremely disappointed to see fellow CTU local member. They was all in the same mob at Brandon for Chicago stance, actively excluding non-citizen residents in Chicago from voting in elections that impact their children's education. Brandon passed the elected school board. Now, I'm not here to defend him, but now mind you, this is the same thing I'm doing. As a representative of one of the most immigrant districts in Illinois, this is my flag and I am placing it. This is who I represent. I'm extremely disappointed to see fellow CTU member. We're in the same gang, so our philosophy is supposed to be the same. Right? We all voted, and the mob voted that's chief now. But you have decided that you finna be a renegade. And still come to the meeting. And then try to inflame it by saying a stance actively excluding non-citizen residents in Chicago from voting in elections that impact their children's education. So that was the politically correct. So then, at Ryan Garza, again, says, I'm sorry, but this is some xenophobic, anti-immigrant, incredibly non-coalition building ass language coming from Brandon. Shaking my hand, SMH at y'all for supporting him and this basura. Me, the basura, is trash. Okay? So that's the text that they send out in a tweet, right? Now, mind you, Riis, nowhere in this am I at it at all. So this could have been going on all day. They slandering my name. They doing all this stuff. They calling What's in It for the Black People media trash. They calling me trash for asking about our self-interest, okay? Even as he says, as a rep of the most immigrant districts in Illinois. I don't bash him for representing his interests, but we're wrong for asking about the right of undocumented immigrants to vote in elections. But this is like the fake outrage. But let me read this one to you, because this is where, okay, Riis, I'm going to break this down for you in a way from my Bolingbrook upbringing. This is from Representative Aaron Ortiz. Last session, I worked alongside at Representative Delia Ramirez, alongside Rep. Delia Ramirez to enfranchise our community. I look forward to working again on SB 1345 to make sure communities like the ones I represent are not excluded. The state legislature needs a mayor they can work with, not one who panders to anti-immigrant ideology. Now, I've never talked to Delia Ramirez a day in my life. But essentially, what he was saying was, she is supposed to be one of us, but she's running around with Brandon Johnson, a black man. Riis, if a Latino guy sends out a tweet talking about a Latina woman being associated with a black man, Riis, there is something underlying in that. Right? So what I saw in that tweet, and I had to slow down and reread it. Right? It sounds innocuous, but what it really says is, hey, Latinos that are considering listening to Delia Ramirez, she hangs with the niggas. She's supposed to be over here with us, but she running around with the niggas. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Riis, you ever gone to a school where there's interracial dating?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Usually, there's the accepting crew that don't care. But usually when there's an interracial dating, there probably are some whispers of the black dudes don't like the black dude going with the black girl going with the white dude, just like the Latinos don't necessarily care for their women being with brothers. Now, nobody's going to say that, right? Nobody's going to say it out loud. And that's where Representative Ortiz gets to kind of throw the rock and hide his hand. I've never talked to Delia Ramirez, but what she has essentially been accused of, in my estimation, is being a ninja lover. Now, let's be clear. Brandon Johnson is a married man. I am not in any way, shape, or form implying that there is any relationship between them outside of political. But Riis, you know how everybody how some people have best friends that's opposite sex, right? The challenge becomes that the connotation that Aaron Ortiz was trying to put out there to Latinos, men, is that she is over there with the Mayetes, and we cannot trust her. She is supposed to be over here fighting for us. Now, let's be clear, they was all, including CTU last year, working on the same thing together. Here's the problem, and there's two pieces of it. For Brandon Johnson, in my estimation, is a dangerous candidate in that he has the ability to unify all the groups. But I want for Brandon Johnson to understand, just like I want my skateboarding cousin to understand that them people don't really love you. And you will be returned to nigga status the moment that you ain't doing what they say do. So y'all in the same mob, y'all got the same literature. Y'all go to the same meetings every week. The board votes that you are now the candidate after offering the crown to the other guy. Y'all are united. Y'all go to the meeting over y'all same literature. You know what they said, though? F that literature. F that literature. You, my friend, are still OJ in their eyes. Now, they not going to say it that way. But please understand that so we was members of the same crew, Riis. You ever been to chapter meeting and you don't win the vote? You don't leave the chapter. You got to support the new president. Unless the new president, my friend, is a nigga. At which point, you no longer have to respect that right. Like, just think about the gravity. And I want not just Brandon to see this. I want Greg Kelly to see this respectfully. I'm not trying to put y'all on blast. I want Stacey, MF, and G to see this because I want you to understand that all of these people and their operatives have operated from the standpoint That these are their comrades. Riis, up until Chuy Garcia got into the race, they believed he wasn't going to get in the race. Riis, the only time this works like this is when it's the black people. So you telling me, and this is what you got to understand, and I'm not tripping, but so in a house of labor, the white guys got together and said, Chuy, come be with the white guys. Real talk. When you look at how the money broke down, when you see who contributed, and I'm not tripping, but you saw that the service unions contributed to Brandon, the trade unions contributed to Chuy. The trade union said, hey man, let them be left. You come over here and join the white guys. Brandon is still standing up at every speech, at Operation Push, anytime he go into black, and he says, and Delia Ramirez, and we were born at the same hospital, and we were, right, because he's still, Riis, he's still operating off the literature. They not recognizing that the people that you built your coalition with was renegades. They've always, if they don't get their way, then they ain't in the mob.
He's still trying to follow the code.
And he trying to honor the code. We all on the team. And they are like, man, I'm disappointed. So wait a minute. You mean it? So you talked to me. You had an interview. You was like, when you thought it was, when it was
beneficial or something like that.
Beneficial to you. Here, James, I'm going to put it across. I want you to understand, y'all. Right? The reality is, so they're going to call me racist and xenophobic, and they're going to clip all of this. But please understand that when it came down to it, every chance that he had, family. Please, could you tell us, sir, if you're going to run? No, I ain't got to tell you. I ain't got to tell you nothing. I don't need you, black. So now we got the most powerful people in the organizations, and you violating them all with no repercussions. Fam, you was part of our CTU, put you on the map. Hey man, that chief is dead though. It's today. Man, we was all under the sun. Hey, that chief dead. I'm taking the mob. But this is the way it's supposed to go. Now we taking the mob. And what we're gonna do, so Brandon, who's still running around talking about this black and brown coalition, Stacey and Greg Kelly and all of these people, but at every chance they have had an opportunity to show you, they have played you. For real? When does Chuy Garcia split from CTU? When the niggas are in charge. When does SEIU, when does Chuy split from SEIU? When the niggas are in charge. But then, let's be clear what Aaron Ortiz did with that text. Family, he sent out a text to Latinos. Riis, do we think that in the same chat they admitted that there's a tremendous amount of anti-blackness in the Latino community? So if Riis, just like they say don't be with the Negroes and the Africans, what you think they say in the Latino community? But Delia Ramirez is over there with them. We want someone that will work for us, not pander, not be talking to the Negroes. She is a lover of others. Am I crazy in reading that into the text?
I can see that.
Now, I ain't say it, but I said it. We need someone that's going to be for us. Not over there fraternizing with them ninjas, them mayetes, them niggas over there.
That's what it sounds like.
But but here's the thing. They're going to get away with that because guess what, Riis? They can say the racist, xenophobic Maze Jackson and if you read the text string, it's like there are people, like there is open hostility towards black people. These are Chewy surrogates. Riis, they are cashing in to the point where they're saying that this is what it really tells me. It tells me Brandon is rising, their guy is dropping, and so now they are now at the Bernard Epton, this is your last chance. And here's the crazy part. If you would have left me alone, Brandon ain't my candidate. Right? Like, but you got me, but he's my cousin. And it's like, cousin, this is why I be trying to tell you. I know you be skateboarding with him. I know you get to go over and eat the chicken. I know y'all go do Taco Tuesday. But family, when it comes down to it, you are still a nigga. And Aaron Ortiz told you that. He told his whole community. Delia Ramirez. Now, Riis, they was all together. All of them. Can you tell me what is the difference between why don't they respect the same mob now? Because black people are there, and guess what? They get licensed to disrespect black people. And guess who's willing to be an accomplice? White folks. So guess what they say? In the effort to get the ring, we'll abandon all of the philosophy, all of the stuff that we talked about. Because guess what? The Negroes won't care. Y'all do realize I'm going to get a letter for this show. Okay? And I do want you to understand that this is part of the reason that I'm leaving, because I can't keep doing this. And it's like there is going to be this, again, when you look at that text string, I was like, Brandon Johnson ain't never said nothing about, he done said they get the right? We be mad at Brandon because he ain't hard. But imagine the chutzpah it takes for him to come right here and say it. And get on the stage like we was watching him at the Push Breakfast, like, damn, dog. All the while, can I tell you, we's all's niggas now. Mayetes. Just letting you know. Let's just be clear. Signs don't mean nothing, though. Let's just be clear. But I want y'all to understand that they was all in the same. The man said we was in the same organization. We're fellow members. We in the same squad. Riis, how you be in the same squad? The mob done voted we doing this, and you out here renegading in the meeting.
You didn't say you had a voting squad. You said y'all in the same one.
Okay. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Let's take a quick break. And we're going to come back because I guess Salim, help me understand. Did I miss that in Bolingbrook? In Bolingbrook, I'm not saying that that's what the man said, but in Bolingbrook, my experience was Representative Ortiz was trying to inflame racial tensions and put pressure on Delia Ramirez in her own community. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Let's take a break and we'll be back after this.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Why not Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago? The criminals won't like Willie Wilson in the mayor's office. Fighting crime is Willie Wilson's first priority. Willie Wilson is ready to take on the criminals. Finally, Chicago, do it right. Willie Wilson for mayor.
Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't want to work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't want to work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Wake up in the morning with the another day that I got a fake smile for people I don't wanna see. Working at a job that I don't wanna be. Breaking my back to the bone with nothing to show. But I got dreams and goals. But as soon as I clock in, I'm ready to go. So there's one thing I gotta know. Why money ain't free? Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? Give it to me. I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Rocking in that 9 to 5, got your girl hella tired. Why won't they let me be? Now I understand why my mama always used to ask. Did I think money grew on trees? I got these bills after bills and they just keep coming. Working overtime, but my pockets ain't flooding. Yeah, my funds low. Adult life is ghetto.
Why money ain't free?
Why it ain't free?
Why can't you just give it to
Why
me?
can't they just give it to
I
me?
don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me.
Why money ain't free? Yeah.
Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Tell me how the money ain't free. Every 5 minutes kids bothering me. They seem to think that money grows on trees. Always asking for allowance and clean one thing. Sick and tired of my funds being low. Spent the whole bag on the groceries at the store. Got a little something, but I need a little more. And I'm a single mama, you should already know.
Why money ain't free?
Why the money ain't free?
Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me.
Doing me.
Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it
Won't
to
you
me?
give it to me?
I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Why the money ain't free?
Why money ain't free?
Why money ain't free? Yeah, why money ain't free?
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the rule on the ones and twos. I was reading today, first in Playbook, members of the Jewish caucus in the Illinois General Assembly have written a letter to Chicago Teachers Union, SEIU, Healthcare, expressing serious concern about the deeply offensive anti-Semitic social media postings of Muse Bawani, a candidate that you are supporting financially and politically. Sound familiar? So I need for all, so let me just, remember, Riis, when I was telling you, like, if you allow people to weaponize this stuff, it's going to happen to you. So it's funny to me because now the same people who were writing the letters to me are now getting ready to start writing the letters to Brandon Johnson and CTU and SEIU. And you know why they're doing that, Riis? Guess why they can do that? Because you've given away your power as black people. So they're writing a letter to the black leaders of these unions for their support of this candidate. I'm just telling y'all, like, when you, I know it seems easy to just say, let it, oh, that maze. Do y'all not understand that this is a network? So they don't accuse you of it. They say we're concerned about it. How much you want to? But it's easy when it's Maze. Reach out to Hector Villagrana too, because Hector, you know, I told y'all Hector be talking major cash smack. It's really just because he was a terrible campaign worker and got mad because if you work for me, you got to work. He made his way by trying. Can I tell you? Let me tell you about Hector, though. I'll just bring that up real quick. Because, you know, I was the field director for Paquin State, you know. And so they hired people on the staff, and Hector was in charge of Latino outreach. And the whole time that I was on the campaign and he worked for me, he would always try to undermine me, right? He would always try and do other things. And it's kind of where I started to learn how this works, right? And I would ask for things to be done and he would not do them. And he would rely on his relationships with members of the Latino caucus to be able to, and this was before I was, but like, it was like, who is this nigga and why does he get to tell me what to do? And I want you all to recognize, like, SEIU, these attacks from caucuses, etc., they are essentially, Femo, sound familiar though? That they got a letter for you know, black people have literally given up their position to even be able to speak on their own issues. You feel me? But I also think you all got to look at the fact that Ortiz really tried to fan a different flame. And the two things that I think everybody needs to pay attention to out of this, I think SEIU, CTU, ask me, all of these service unions and all of this stuff where black people reside and we say we're fighting for poor people. Yo, Joe, it's two different poor peoples in this world. Like y'all say poor people, people who look like us, the disenfranchised, the black. Look, y'all, do y'all understand that if everything that I've said is not proven in this conversation, I am the Maestradamus, fam. I am the Maestradamus. It was all good until black people were in leadership, until black people had the final say. And when you got the final say, shout out to my girl Stacey Davis Gates. Shout out to Greg Kelly. But y'all know if it was Balanoff, that wouldn't have happened. Right? I'm just saying. It is. So to my girl who was, and shout out to Delia Ramirez for standing strong and sticking with a guy, right? But I hope that and the thing that tickles me, Riis, is the people that signed the letter against me are now signing the letter against Brandon. But there's people that supporting Brandon that are now offended that same tactic that they used, right? The Rosa Ramirez's and the Equality Illinois and all the people that are supporting Brandon, right? Because he was one of our guys. They using y'all same tricks against him now. That's why it's crazy to me that claims of racism being thrown at black people and a black man, think about the gravity of a black man being told he should not be on What's in It for the Black People media. What does that mean to, and the other part was they tagged all the other candidates to be like, this is what will happen to you if you go there. Which is why black candidates stay away, right? That goes to the Junior Lee whole thing of, right? But now all the black candidates, in spite of what's going on in our community, in spite of all of it, have now been punked out of having a true conversation with black people. Because the same people that y'all been lining up with, that y'all was in the fight with, turned on you and shanked you. So for Brandon, for Greg, and I'm saying all these people's names, literally, I'm not slamming them. For Greg, for Stacey, for Brandon, for Candace, for all of the people that I have had these conversations with. I want you all to understand that you are comrades only until you are in control. Then it breaks down to tribal. You can talk about, look at me, we all together, we family. They are going to, Aaron Ortiz, who is a member of your organization, has now alluded that Brandon Johnson, by coming on the Maze Jackson show, by standing by the principles, is a racist and he should not be allowed to be with that basura. Right?
A black guy on the What's in It for the Black People show.
Think about that.
Okay.
Think about that.
You can't go on the black show and ask and they trying to figure out.
I can't, mind you, Riis, there's news channels that's standing in front of Wadsworth right now, and we can't talk about the immigration issue.
But Channel 7 can.
Right. Who them niggas over there on that nag? Who is them niggas over there? What that nigga doing on that nag?
It's really a political question. You're just asking if you believe that undocumented immigrants should, like...
These punks tried to say...
Just like they asked us, like how we got the
should we support
to vote, just they had to ask the same thing. Do you think we should let these Negroes that was slaves all these years vote just like the same way they had to act? Like,
Riis, I felt it was crazy to think about, like, it really ignores... like eyes on the prize, it ignores all of that black people died for the right to vote. How dare we not be able to ask about it? So I need for Brandon and CTU and SEIU and all of these people that's running around here telling us that we need to align, y'all are leading us to a place where when they have an opportunity to shank us, they will. They will. So for all the Carlos Rosa Ramirez's who was hee-hee-ha-ha and tweeting about the money and all of that stuff, I just want you to see why Maze Jackson is the way Maze Jackson is. Because when given an opportunity, Riis, it's no different than when I grew up in Bolingbrook, right? There's going to be a day when you have to pick. And the problem for black people is they always hope somebody else gonna pick us over their own people. We're comrades, the poor people. They don't care about your wealth. They do not care about you. And I'm saying that's fine. But immigration got to be all our issue. Like, we got to be accepting of it. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. You think Brandon Johnson knows he's still a nigga right now? He probably tuned it out.
He found out.
I think he gotta rise above, man.
Nah, you ever seen that? You saw that series, that OJ series when Cuban Gooden played it? I know you saw it, right?
I think I did.
You remember when he get out, everything gone, and he called his restaurant that they used to make a way for OJ every time that OJ came in there. And when he called, they was like, "We got reservations. We all booked up." And he looked at the phone like, "Y'all all booked up now." It was his first realization to like life has been different now, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he looked, you know what I'm saying? Really, it's kind of like going, you know, like like my son had an experience like that. He went with people. It was a mother of an Arabic girl that he was out with. She liked him. He liked her. And when she had I guess she caught them talking, and she basically said the same thing. And even the young lady said it, and she was ashamed to really tell my son. She my mother said I can't talk to you because you're black. You know, she was I gotta be honest. No, she I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to get in trouble, but she was you know, that's the. And it was my son first shock to culture, wow, you know what I'm saying? So that's how he's feeling now. Man, you know how somebody with you, and then you see him on the other team, I was just feeding you, B. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So I think he in a wow moment.
I think he got to keep on. I think he's got to stay above it. So he probably gonna shut out all the tweets. But what I need for everybody else is to understand that you can't lead us off the cliff when you telling us that we should trust a group of people that just threw you under the bus. They just niggerized him. They made Brandon Johnson a Mayete. And I'm just saying, I hope that black folks can see it. Right? I want you to understand, and this is the thing that I'm telling you, that they're going balls to the wall in the fact that imagine that in the second round, they got to come back. If Chewy is the nominee, they basically are have put the marker down that they're going to do it without black people. You can't really be saying all this. You can't be saying that if you black and you talk to black people. We know he ain't, Riis, this is what we know he ain't gonna do. He ain't gonna talk to black people in their space. So if they won't come talk to us when they turn their back on us at the King breakfast, but maybe it was. They thought they was going to be tagged with being on the racist show. But I guess we're going to have to play the JB clip, the Tony Preckwinkle clip, the Luis Garcia's clip. But I got a better clip for you before I go. Because while people want to play crazy, and this is why y'all got to remember, y'all don't have, do y'all remember the uprisings? Well, let me turn on this audio real quick. No, it's in the switcher. Ready? It's literally in the switch. You don't gotta. It's not this. Okay,
we've had diverse community members come together to basically protect our neighborhood, to protect our businesses. Relatively few of them have been looted, but at the same time, we've had absolutely tragic events where African Americans and people from outside our community have been targeted.
Nobody is talking about the Riis. Nobody. They got up, they hung up. Okay, so I just want to hear from y'all. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. This is the race. I'm just telling you, this show is going to be bookmarked, tagged, sent out. They're going to ask Brandon. This show has nothing to do with Brandon Johnson. I want to be clear. I'm not even supporting Brandon Johnson, right? Because then they're going to say, one of your advocates, nah, I ain't supporting Brandon Johnson. I am supporting black self-interest. And so I want someone to explain to me what Aaron Ortiz meant. Because to me, it really plays on the old interracial concerns about interracial dating, dating outside of your race, the implications, all of it, right? It's like she is over there with the Negroes, the niggas, the mayetes. She should be over here with us. There is nothing, and I think it's crazy to even think that for Representative Ortiz to suggest that Representative Delia Ramirez would not still represent her people. Like, she can't be on the side of Brandon Johnson and still fight for immigrant rights. But it's either or for you, right? But if I say something like that, then I'm racist and I'm xenophobic. You thought because you said it in a nice way? Caller, it's the Maze Jackson Show. What you got for me?
Hey, bro.
Jake all the way from Houston.
Man.
What's up, dog?
Hey, what stood out to me on the text was at the bottom, where it says that we was over here before slavery, which is a lie. Now, you know that's a flat out lie. We help liberate. We just do the dumbest stuff. We help them. We help them get their independence, right? We help them get their independence from the conquistadors, from Spain. We help them. Slaves helped them. They ran down into Mexico to help them to get away. They went down there and they helped get them independence from the conquistadors. And so a lot of us been down there, bro. A lot of us been down there. So and with the immigration, it's not just so-called Mexicans. So a lot of them, it's not there. It's Guatemalans, it's Panamanians, it's Ecuador, it's Honduras. You know what I mean? They are not the same people. They might speak Spanish because Spain had South America and they went all through it. And the Portuguese, they went through it. They went through it, though. And a lot of them are not pure. They, you know what I mean? And some of them was mixed with the natives, and some of them came over the straits and things of that nature. You know what I mean? But we do it all the time, bro. And we got everybody in place now. It seems like it don't matter. We got a black man. We got a black this. We got what you call black. We got a black dad. We got a black this. We got a black dad. We got speaker of the house or whatever it is. We got it all. It's still in a way. It's like I don't understand. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say too. And guess who helped get the immigration law tied in with the Civil Rights Bill with Keenum when they negotiated with the president?
Who did?
It was Keenum. Harry Belafonte. Harry Belafonte, they added as a footnote, or they put it in there with him for immigration. And they've been coming over here with the Arabs, the whole. We did that. We do this. I don't understand. I mean, but like King Israel said, we, after 400 years, we like that. Even the brothers call themselves Israelites, says, like in camps, they got, that's a part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Get out of here. Get out of here. I get into it with them all the time. All right, slow, Mikey.
All right, that's my man, Jacob Israel. We done? Any other calls? So I want to take this. Hold on. So every day I get up and I try to advocate on behalf of us. I want to read something to you because I want to pivot to black media. We came in late, didn't we? let's do this. Take a quick break because I do need to go to the bathroom, and then I want to read you from the Chicago Crusader, Lightfoot defends record in meeting with the black press, and I wanna read a couple things that I think contribute to how like sometimes you feel like people want to see you. They supposed to be on your team, but they not really on your team. I'm going to read to you this article because I think black media, I'm not cooking anybody, but I have some challenges with black media that I think stand out. Like, we have a responsibility to black people. We do. Whatever those media outlets are. And oftentimes I think that we celebrate the white folks I'm this is not going to be a bash, but I do feel like I want to read a couple things to you because I think it's important that you see the positioning of it. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Maze Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 AM. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Maze said. We out of here. Peace.
We can count on Paul Vallis. When Paul Vallis was CEO of Chicago Public Schools, he revitalized our neighborhood schools. No one delivered more for our underserved young people than Paul Vallis. As mayor, Paul Vallis will ensure that communities long neglected get a fair share of city investment, attracting the grocery stores we need, improving sanitation, and other city services in our neighborhoods. Vote Paul Vallis, a mayor for all of us. Paid for by Vallis for Mayor.
Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago. The violence in Chicago must stop. Willie Wilson pledges real action to do that. A revised police structure, 4 superintendents, more accessible to their neighborhoods, providing faster communication and concentration of resources. Willie Wilson pledges more integrated police patrols to increase community, confidence, and cooperation. Willie Wilson's pledge will make Chicago safer. Finally, Chicago, do it right. Willie Wilson for mayor.
It don't last forever. Promise it gets better. You've been through Focus on your mission and get to your bed.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler. Riis, I'm going to read from last week's the Chicago Crusader, Saturday, February 11th, reported. The title of this paper says, Chicago Crusader, Saturday, February 11th, 2023, Blacks must control their own community. That's what it says across the top of the thing. And then there's this story in there, and it talks about the Black Press Roundtable that occurred. I'm going to read a couple parts of it because I don't think y'all remember when I told you. The first part was about Mayor Lightfoot and reparations, so I want you to hear this. When asked her view on giving reparations to Chicago's black residents, Lightfoot responded, reparations is called Invest Southwest. Reparations are called the procurement reforms that we've done to make sure that the larger chunks of the city's $3.5 billion are going into black and brown Chicago. Lightfoot went on to say reparations are called the $31 million that we put into mostly black Chicago through targeted financial assistance, meaning $500 a month for 5,000 families for a year and helping them overcome financial challenges. That they have to make sure that when that pilot program is over, they're in a better position than they were before. Everything I am doing is focused on equity and inclusion. Some people want to call it reparations. Who are those people? That's fine. I called it building black wealth, Lightfoot concluded. I told y'all about the Invest Southwest. All right, let me hit you with another one. During her interview with the Black Press, Lightfoot demanded an apology from radio host Maze Jackson, whom she accused of saying that she was more lesbian than black. Jackson replied, "We were adamant about our support of your candidacy. When we watched the tape, you said I am the first openly lesbian woman candidate, and you never mentioned your blackness. And I think that's where it came from." Lightfoot replied, "I don't remember that." She never does. "But I'm sure I was in response to a question about folks, as my mother would say to me, 'Look at me, sir. Look at me. What do I look like? What do I look like, okay? Let's be clear. What have I done every single day since I've been in office? Poured money into black Chicago than any other, more money into black Chicago than any other mayor in the history of this city." Speaking directly to Jackson, Lightfoot remarked, "So yeah, I'm offended, sir, by your comments. And I wasn't going to sit here and let you get away with it without me saying something. You are stoking division and saying stuff that's not true, not helpful, but you be you, and I'm going to be me." Now, I don't have a problem. I said it. I don't have a problem with that. Right? But I do believe, the other question I asked was, where do you stand on the right of undocumented immigrants to vote? There's something about which pieces and parts that you choose to print that, I don't know, make me feel a certain way. I was sitting in a meeting and people like, you ain't going to wake up and you ain't going to cook us and you ain't going to be doing. And I was like, okay, I can agree with the words that we're going to not body slam each other, etc. But honestly, Riis, I do believe there are black people who want me to keep, they enjoy the letters. They enjoy the pushing me into a space because it creates an opportunity for them. They get to say, I'm not him. See, he gon', right? And then they can go out and continue this narrative. The reality was, the mayor did not want to answer the question. The precursor to that was the right for undocumented immigrants to vote, right? I told you I had a whole list of questions. It's odd to me that none of that part of the conversation made it to it, just the more lesbian than black. And of a 500-word article, 100 of it is about the more lesbian than black, by which, for the record, I don't say. It's a song. Not tripping. I'm not throwing it. I take the responsibility. I didn't go in and be like, that ain't me, that's not my song, that's not, right? I took the responsibility. But what we know is that we've been here for a long time. We're not asking a lot of questions that make them, and we ain't all clapping when the mayor comes in. But it makes it that much when the black media does what the white media does to try to categorize all my work as homophobic, xenophobic, and to run this, right? Instead of where do you stand on what is the hottest issue in the city of Chicago right now? And the fact that she said that she had no state, and I said, well, we're home rule, we can't do the things. And the fact that none of that made it to the article, it says a lot to me. Now, if you want to put that in there, so you verbatim that. Verbatim. But nothing about the right of undocumented to live in the city and to work, to vote in municipal elections, right? And it's the same thing, Riis. So as I'm trying to figure out why you saying blacks must control their own community and our community is rapidly leaving us, the Maze Jackson component gets reduced to lesbian and black, a radio song, a song. But the mayor didn't write this, right? And it's no different than watching people come to your events, take all their pictures, and not acknowledge where you're at. And so it's like the shade hate that, it's like, we don't want you to say nothing bad. This is phony kicking it. This is phony kicking it to me. Right? Because everybody was, oh, hey. The reality is, we cannot participate in our own self-destruction. The reality is that most of our outlets require staying in good graces. It's part of the reason I don't have no ads or we got some for the campaign, etc. But because, Riis, you're not, so we watched our city burn. We watched
elect Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago.
As my man told us that his community groups, outsiders from our community, and what I got out of the whole thing, and I asked her about the fact of her, they didn't even report about the fact that I said your outreach workers were assaulting black people. None of it. Out of all the stuff that I asked in that conversation, that's what we got? Because guess what somebody was trying to do? Get some points with the mayor. Not with black people. So when nobody talks about the fact that our people, like nobody's going to ask the mayor about our people getting attacked, y'all forgot about it? We going to let Aaron Ortiz basically call somebody a Negro lover, and I get to be the homophobic, racist, xenophobe? That's why I'm quitting. Imagine the gravity of asking about black people being assaulted. I don't remember that. No, it was your staff. They paid for it. You are spreading misinformation. No, ma'am. Susan Lee was spreading it. It just, I I take a little umbrage with that. Like, that's all you could get. And that's that phony kicking it. That's the phony kicking it that I'm talking about. Right now, Chicago is in a space where we are literally about to be moved up out this mud. Like, we're seeing the populations drop. That is not xenophobia. That is the reality that our population is dropping in this city. And mugs around here tiptoeing at our expense. At the Black Media Roundtable, we've done to make sure that the larger chunks of the city's $3.5 billion are going into Black and brown Chicago. I get more lesbian than Black. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Anybody on the live line? Carly on the Maze Jackson Show. What's up, man? Caller, you there?
Good morning, man.
Good morning. Who there?
Good
Anthony.
morning.
What's up, Anthony? How you feeling, man?
Yes. Man, I'm feeling a certain kind of way, man, because already, they're letting you know, we want to run this whole show. All right? And one of my biggest problems with all the Black candidates we elect, first thing they want to do is reach out to the Hispanic, the Latinx, the brown folks, and they don't need us. They don't want us. But you have this neck-breaking pace. All of them want to get over there and become somebody. They don't like us, man. They want what we got. I keep telling you that. You ever been over the village in Pilsen, man, how crowded it is over there? Man, you can't even walk around. It's that tight. So they want some of this real estate we sitting on, man. And we giving them work, all kinds of stuff. When something gets done, the carpentry, the grass cutting and all that, we allow them to come in our community and earn. You can't even go over there and spend money. So, am I looking at this wrong?
No, you're not. I mean, you're not looking at it wrong, but I don't even know how to address it anymore because, like, whether it was Alderman Michelle Harris who got disrespected blatantly inside of the ward remap process because we be so ready to beef with each other that they know we gonna slam each other. Right? And so they be like, let them get the slamming and we gonna jab them in the meantime because we don't like Maze because he said something that hurt our feelings. So now we gonna get away with this. Think about this. The same people that are attacking Black people got you scared to speak on your own and can come for any one of yours at any time. Period.
Man, it's worse than that. These same Black people that we've elected, okay, they want us to help them get into office. But when you ask about these undocumented people voting in elections and stuff like that, all they got to do is notify Homeland Security, immigration, Border Patrol, and that whole neighborhood, that all of them going to shut up and try to go underground. Okay? But everybody's scared to pull the trigger on that. Make Homeland Security them go over there and do their job. If you're not documented, you're here illegally, put them on a bus.
Now, I'm going to be called, just so we're clear, I'm going to be called xenophobic for that. But here's the thing, and this is the part that I didn't say, Anthony, let me just say this. The reality is we don't have a defense. I'm not bugging out because I already know where I'm going to be at, right? But here's the thing. We've lost control of our ability to fight back. So, and like I would say this. I would say that you have a legitimate opinion that is prevalent in the Black community. What they would say is, instead of us talking about it, and saying, how do we come to an agreement? The fact that you even mention that there is tension turns you into a racist xenophobe. Right? And
well, you know what, man?
Yes, sir.
Do your disclaimer. Do your disclaimer, all right?
All right. The thoughts and opinions of Anthony West are not the thoughts and opinions of the Maze Jackson Show, even though they're going to make me wear them anyway. I'm ready. What's up, fam? Go ahead.
Man, they can do a testicular taste test. Kiss my black butt, you know?
Ooh.
Them same people.
Did you say it's I'm not going to even repeat that because they'll cut it for me.
I
like those words, though. Those are some interesting words you chose.
I said it. Maze didn't say it. I said it. At the end of the show. Yeah, that nigga.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate you, man.
All right, man. I'll holler at you later.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Anybody else on the line? Riis, did you see Colors?
Nah.
Okay, so I'm about to play a clip. But before I play a clip on the computer, and anybody got a call, thoughts, opinions, give us a call, 872-259-7474. I really feel like we need a press conference. Like, I really think we need to have a press conference to address anti-blackness, racism, and see, I feel like what Representative Ortiz did, what do they call it, a dog whistle? He did a dog, that's it. He did a dog whistle playing to Latino males' disdain for the interaction between black people, black men, and Latino women. Now, he didn't do it direct, but he made a subtle implication that told the Latino community she's with them, not with us, and she's supposed to be over here with us. Right? Basically making her a race traitor. In our community, like when I grew up in Bolingbrook, they called those people nigger lovers, right? Why you be over there with them? Don't you know about yourself? Don't you know your history? Why would you want to be with those people? It was the same thing. It took me back to high school, except it was on Twitter and we didn't have it. But here's the thing. Do you see? I played you a video of me in 2018 going on West 47th Street to one of their headquarters. Bro, when you came to that place, there was a whole group of Latinos talking about creating power, right? In that coffee shop. And it was kind of like I got invited. Now I start to feel like they brought me over to be like, look, we could talk to him. Riis, I didn't change who I was when I was talking to him. I told you I didn't believe in the Black and Brown Coalition. We haven't seen y'all join us up on any of the things. Now, the whole reason that I went there is because I believe in honest dialogue. Like, not let me say some stuff to make you feel like it's all good. Man, I'm not comfortable around here. And damn it, you know I shouldn't be comfortable around here. If I wasn't here with y'all, there would be people outside that would be like, who you know around here? But Riis, I went there. I went to have an honest conversation. It wasn't politically motivated. I didn't use it. But what we have allowed to have happen is we have allowed racism to now become weaponized against black people. Like, think about the gravity of waking up and somebody is calling a black man who is here every day a racist. Y'all used to be able to say a black man can't be racist. But this is what happens when we give up our power. You know what I thought of? So, Riis, I'm playing this at the end, so if they cut us off, then we straight. We'll just, if they cut us off after this, then we not coming back. But I want to play you a clip from the movie Colors. For those of y'all that are older, you remember, I want you to think of Aaron Ortiz as Sean Penn in this movie. Now, we do not have the rights to this movie, but this is colors. And I want you to see right now, this is the image that is conjured up in my mind. I am in no way, shape, or form suggesting that this is Delia Ramirez. But what I am suggesting is this is the connotation of what Aaron Ortiz was trying to communicate to Latino males in the space. I want you to see, this is in Los Angeles when black people were still dominant. And this movie, Colors, is a gang movie about the Bloods, Crips, and the Latino gangs that were emerging. And this gang that they were participating in, let's pretend it was CTU, right? In CTU, this gang was an interracial gang. So they had blacks and they had Latinos. This dude in the white wife beater with the cross on that you can see up here that I'm circling around, he was the gang leader. He's who she was with. Okay? Now I want you to pay attention to this clip because I need for you to understand what Aaron Ortiz was trying to communicate to Latino men. Okay? Bear with me. This is 1:35, all right? Hold on. So, back up. Now, Danny, we're going to say is Aaron Ortiz. And we're going to say that, Maria Conchita Alonso was the girl he was with. He believed that she was on his team. All right? Here we go. And again, there is no sexual connotation. I am not in any way, shape, or form suggesting that those two have any physical. Brandon looks like a happily married family man, which is black man, whole package, which is why he has so much opportunity. But, Riis, pay attention to Pac-Man, because Pac-Man is Aaron.
Come on out. Take a seat over here.
She was with the brother.
What? What's the matter with you, Pac-Man? Huh? What's the matter with you, man? Hey, Pac-Man. Hey, Pac-Man. Hey, man. Hey. Fuck you, I know you. What's your name? No. You think you know who I am, Danny? Huh? Do you? Fuck, man. All you see is what you want, and you only want things one way. Look at me, Danny. Look at me. Go back upstairs. Look at me, Pac-Man. This is me too, man.
All right, y'all. So, did you get it? Did it make sense to you? The reality is, in the movie, she found out, let's back up. Pac-Man was like, you supposed to be with me. He found out that she was kicking it with the brothers too. And he was devastated. But I want you to understand that that is essentially the mentality that Aaron Ortiz was trying to communicate. He didn't say it, but that's what he meant. You over there with the ops as compared to being with us. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. And I want to be clear. Let me just 100% be clear. No way, shape, or form was I implying in that clip that there is any type of relationship beyond a mutual political ideology. But Pac-Man said, you're supposed to be over here with us, not with them. And when you think about what Aaron did, right? He went to a whole nother place, right? He went to a place where the same place that got Emmett Till killed. You think about it. What's he over there reckless eyeballing one of our women? She over there with them. Amen. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Mr. Ortiz, we come a long way from that day at the coffee shop to your legislative friends and family. I know it's simple and it seems very easy to say you take and clip and do little sound bites and try not to put the conversation in context. But I want you to remember when we came over to 47th Street and I told you I didn't believe you. You proved it. The Maze Jackson Show has never wavered in where we come from. Part of the origins of this was when I negotiated and I was part of the negotiations and we gave up the map for $100 million and y'all got 10 schools. I was there for that, right? But as we move into social media and y'all forget all of these different things, I got receipts. So it was all good when I came over there and said the same thing. But now it's not good because, why? Because it's me, or is it because the Latino girl is over there with the Latinos? The Latino is over there with the niggas. And so that's made you upset. It's cool if we stay in our own spaces, right? You stay on your side of 47th, I stay on my side of 47th. Right? It's cool when we can kick it, you know what I'm saying, and everybody stay. But when your man is losing, and to a mayete at that, then all the rules go out the window. You know, I think for real, and I must tell you it was cowardice to have that whole conversation, to use my name to clip my show and not at me. That was cowardice. Because what you don't want is the real response. Now I got what they say, Riis, I got time today? I got time today. So I'm going to pull up a bunch of your clips. I'm going to pull up a bunch of your things. And I want to see, and let me just point this out to our young people. Right? Because remember y'all was running around here car caravanning and talking about when after our people got assaulted, they had y'all Negroes riding around in car parades talking about we was straight and you could ride through Little Village. All till they could take your lunch. So where is, you call Will Calloway, and it's not a diss to Will, but all y'all that was running around here, where is, what's my man? Y'all be bringing everybody to our parties, to our picnics, to our events, because you think they with you. Yeah, it'll get you some TV camera coverage. But I want you to remember who was standing with you when it was Laquan. How many of your allies was there? And now they got to the point where if you even talk about it, you are a racist. So I think it's important. No, that's not the wrong connotation. The connotation, I know all the roles. We're adding people to the place. The reality is, what's she doing over there with the colors? Now, I understand that there was a mixed gang and all that stuff, but the premise is, we know what it conjured up in the minds of Latino men, Latino women. Girl, what you doing over there with them mayetes? Meanwhile, my skateboarding cousin still think everybody is friend. And I just want to say, cuz, watch your back. To Greg Kelly, to Stacey Davis Gates, to what's my lady that runs United Working Families? I think you should really pay attention to the fact that your allies are only your allies when you do it the way that they tell you to do it. Because as we learned in the Supreme Court, a black man has no rights that a white man is bound to respect. We the only ones saying black and brown. And you know, as y'all look at these tweets, you know, what they believe is that by no one responding, that they just get to get away with it and it goes in the universe. And no black people, because we really ain't over there, right? And so they get to talk cash smack with no response, no repercussions. But we are coming to Springfield this week. So I would open up the door. I'd love the opportunity for the representative to come on the show. I'd love to come lobby him. But like, don't throw a rock and hide your hand. Fam, you can call me. We got connects. And to my legislative brothers and sisters that are down in Springfield, be clear, while y'all camaraderie in it, they still trying to take your lunch. Now, we can call it whatever we want to call it. We can talk about it. You can call it racist. You can call it xenophobic. Or you can just call it a competition for resources. That's what I look at it like. A competition for resources. But now you want to say, oh, no fair, no fair. You can't say that. But so we can talk about immigrant rights. We can talk about Spanish speaking. We can talk about everything. But we cannot talk about migration or immigration. And if not, then you anti? And it's like they be walking by, like, y'all got to understand, you're not the special Negroes. It seems like it's cool to do it to Maze, but family, they're doing it right now to Stacy and SEIU. It was all good when it was Maze over there, but y'all next. Do y'all not see this? You're not a special Negro. They don't respect you, period. No one does. And so all I'm suggesting is let's have a plan for each other before we start making plans for everybody else. They'll line you up to come whoop me and call me all of this stuff. Family, I just want y'all to see y'all in the paper next. Your letters are coming. Oh, it's just Maze over there. You know, he done offended us. He done said, family, when you speak up for your... Riis, How do we got the two most powerful black union leaders in the country, local and regional, and the white and now our supposed allies are leading the revolution against what we said we was building together? They get to sit in Twitterverse, talk crazy, disrespect me, disrespect my family, when all I'm trying to do is say, let's have a real conversation. If we gonna cut the pie, let's talk about the whole pie. You can't say, oh, we gonna reserve this over here for us, and then we can only talk about these things in the context that makes us feel comfortable. So y'all go visit Aaron Ortiz, right? Because the other people ain't elected. And I'd be curious to know what the black people in his district think. Because, you know, it's funny to me, Riis. It's funny because I bet you there are black people that live in his district. Do we hear him talking anything about them? The first thing a black person will tell you, I got such and such in my district. I got to make sure I take care of everybody in my district. You think that yeah, man. So I just need for y'all to be clear. Right? Because, again, this is going to be the racist, homophobic, xenophobic. Maze is anti-immigrant. I'm not. I want to have a conversation. But you don't really want to have a conversation because then you know that people are going to be like, wait a minute, that really does negatively impact us. Show me the black person politically that can purposely advocate for themselves. I just need for y'all to understand that racism has now become a weapon has been weaponized against Maze Jackson. Not Maze Jackson, but against black folks. So all the same things that you loved me for 4 years ago, 5 years ago, right? It's a reason they was coming. You know why they wanted me to come over to that side of town? Because they were concerned that ICE was coming. They were concerned that black folks could start doing things. And now that the ball is like, so when they was under duress, they wanted to understand how we could build a coalition together. Man, I'm the same Maze. Oh, but when they thought it was going to be ICE and when Trump was there, then it was, we got to band together. Man, y'all go spend some time with them people. Remember when they was talking about they was going to recruit ICE agents? And the ICE agents were going to be coming to, that they were going to hire young black kids to be ICE agents. Remember that? Then that's when they accused me of putting out the recruitment flyer. I didn't put out the flyer. It's a lot of black people that are frustrated with what's happening. So anyway, I don't know. I feel like we should have a black press conference. Like, I really do think we should have a press conference and we should call out all of these people and there should be black organizations standing together. But here's what's going to happen, right? They already got your preachers. They already got our black organizations. Because I asked about the right of undocumented immigrants and I got more lesbian than black. I don't know, man. Riis, I feel crazy some days. Like I woke up yesterday like, wait, y'all done had all of this conversation talking about my show and nowhere in it did y'all tweet me or nothing?
There it go. There it go. It's starting to do it.
What?
Lag a little bit.
Okay. Well, that's okay because we about to get up out of here. So look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace. Well, kind of peace. Almost peace. We still doing our thing. Why don't y'all just, I would. Nah, let's not vote our press conference. Let's make Chewy Garcia answer. See, here go the craziest part, right? Let's have Chewy Garcia answer for his people. See, we could put all this on Aaron Ortiz, but the reality is it should hurt his candidate, right? Because the goal was to hurt Brandon's candidacy. I'm not in the Brandon Johnson camp, but I do feel like Chewy Garcia should answer for the racists in his campaign, the people that are dog whistling in his campaign, the people that are stoking anti-blackness in his campaign, because those are his surrogates. I'd be curious to know, why does Chewy Garcia feel like he's better than Brandon if y'all came from the same camp? What made you drop your flags? So anyway, y'all. See, the answer, like Riis, I'm not apologizing no more. We apologized and then they started talking. And we apologized and the goal was to shank us. Now, Brandon's people, they got to keep the coalition together, right? They got to keep the balance of the coalition. But I guess my thing is, it's funny to see y'all. The crazy part is, again, when it's me, everybody get to sit back and be like, oh, he's. So now people got to stand up for Brandon? Who stood up for Kerry? Just saying. I mean, and I'm letting it go. But I just want y'all to be clear that there are no special Negroes. Anybody can get it. Does SEIU, y'all getting a letter today? You getting a letter today? It was all cute when, now y'all gonna speak on right? They're gonna be anti-Semitic. Can you imagine now them calling them anti-Semitic? Riis, they probably got the money to defend themselves. And if it was me, I'd make sure everybody had a race. But I'm just saying, when it was Mays, it was all sweet. I want to make sure that Mr. Johnson's camp realizes that your members participated in that BS too. Except this time you the nigga. It was all good when it was me. You they nigga. So it's okay. Now they want to defend it. When the reality is everybody knew that what I was saying was not anti anyone. It was a discussion of what is happening in current events. But it's all good because everybody always think they special till they show you ain't. This is the Maze Jackson Show every single day. And let me say this. I don't have no ill will towards Brandon. He is not my candidate. I hate the fact that they have tried to tag him to me. But that's y'all created that. Your crew created that. So y'all got to deal with that internal, right? Y'all condoned these people calling us racist and xenophobic because we asked about our self-interest. We all niggas now. You just took you a little while to learn it. Anyway, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.